dust is lying. We're tearing the veil tonight. Paint. They color correct the truth till it fades away. Face on Mars stares back with ancient eyes. Pyramids rising where the dead wind cries. Cylinders gleaming in the rover's glare. Stone circles standing like they don't belong there. Brian, Cory, Dobbs got the footage on lock. John Ward slicing through the pixels non-stop. Sahara, Cosmos, Ricardo, Calvario, chasing Huffman, Sham in 7-Eleven. Aleksander, Czeszkiewicz, we're all in. Mars disclosure live, ripping the lies apart tonight. Pyramids on Mars, life in the dirt, ancient cities buried, feel the hurt. Mars disclosure live, truth is burning through the red sky. We expose the history, the nuked out past, potential for life. It's ours at last. It's ours at last. Xenon 1259 still ringing in the air. Somebody glassed the planet, left it bare. Blue planet red, got the proof on film. Independent eyes, we overwhelm. Rovers catch the shadows, artifacts in frame. They call it geology, we call it shame. Mars disclosure live, ripping the lies apart tonight. Pyramids on Mars, life in the dirt, ancient cities buried, feel the hurt. Mars disclosure live, truth is burning through the red sky. We expose the history, the nuked out past, potential for life. It's ours at last.
Sponsored by Spores MD for your
That didn't work, but that's okay. Greetings, humans. It is Sunday, March 5th, and we are live on 7 YouTube channels, 2 Rumble channels, 3 X channels, Twitch, and Facebook for another epic installation of our series, Mars Disclosure Live. Today, we're going to be talking about Hollywood's portrayal of Mars over the years. We're going to show some potential fossils on Mars. We got 2 spectacular finds from our very special guests who I'll introduce in a moment. And we're also going to do my favorite part, our artifact examination segment, where we look at Mars anomalies, and each panelist gives their objective opinion. It's going to be a blast. Thank you so much, chat. Shout out any questions you want. Let us know where you're watching from. And yeah, let me introduce the panel. Of course, I am Dave from Dave's Multiverse, your host for this wild ride into Mars mysteries and cosmic secrets. I'm all about chasing down the unknown, digging into alternative histories, and bringing together the sharpest minds to flip what we think we know about the universe. And I'm looking forward to jumping in and having some serious fun with my friends today. So without further ado, let me introduce everyone. I'm gonna introduce everyone, ask them how they're doing, and ask them what is your favorite Mars movie if you have one. And so first up, my lovely producer, Miss Indonesia Jones. Bringing the spark is Megan Gibson, aka Indonesia Jones, with her infectious enthusiasm, boundless curiosity, and sharp eye for detail. She keeps the energy high, the questions popping, and the whole show flowing like a total adventure. Megan, how's it going today? Do you have a favorite Mars movie?
Thanks, Dave. That was really sweet. I gotta go Mars Attacks.
There you go. That's coming up.
Classic. There's lots to choose from, but that one's super fun.
Outstanding. Next up, say hello to Aleksander Czeszkiewicz, the brilliant author of Déjà Vu, Has Everything Already Been, and editor of Dave's Multiverse. He's been diving into mind-bending questions about time, lost civilization, and our forgotten global heritage with a smile and a spark of genius. His fresh take on ancient myths and alternative history add exciting new twists to the Mars puzzle. Olek, how you doing today, brother? And do you have a favorite Mars movie?
I'm doing very well. Thanks for having me on again. Each time I'm learning so many new stuff about Mars, so can't wait for today. I unfortunately don't think I have a favorite Mars movie, at least they aren't coming up in my mind, so I won't answer that.
No worries. Maybe you'll have one at the end of my segment.
His favorite song is The Martian Polka, I'm sure.
There you go. Next up, the shaman himself, Jason Huffman. He's from the Shaman and Philosopher podcast. This charismatic co-host and my friend blends razor-sharp research with philosophical fireworks to connect Mars anomalies straight to humanity's bigger cosmic story. Get ready for some serious, fun mind sparks from Jason. How's it going, buddy? Do you have a favorite Mars movie?
Oh, goodness. Thank you, David. Wow. King David of the multiverse just laying out words, just putting smoke on his guests right off the bat. Now I see.
Go.
Man, thank you, sir. Listen, Mars Attacks. Okay, I was at an age where Mars Attacks kind of annoyed me. Those little aliens, they were fucking creepy, dude. They were a little creepy at a certain age. Now, the comedy, I later found. Mars, man, why is it all the Mars movies, it seems to me, are just kind of negative, and there's a very dark element to a lot of them. So when you talk space movies, I'm going to throw out Interstellar because if somebody hasn't seen it, they should go put themselves through it and see if they come out the emotional ringer the other side, also going, you know what, that's probably kind of maybe how it is. So that's it for me on movies. Thanks for having me, dude. Looking forward to this as always.
No problem. And we are going to take a look at Mars Attacks in a little bit. And Interstellar is probably my favorite movie, so I'm glad you shouted it out. Next up, get ready for the legendary Jean Ward, trailblazing independent Mars researcher and graphic design wizard, who's a master at spotting anomalous structures, megaliths, and mysterious artifacts hiding in NASA's own photos. His razor-sharp eye is rewriting the Red Planet story in the coolest way possible. Jean, welcome again to Mars Disclosure Live. Do you have a favorite Mars movie, and how the hell are you?
Wow, thanks, Dave. Nice intro. Thank you, I appreciate it. Mission to Mars with the face, dude.
Yeah, that's my favorite too, actually. I saw that on my first date with my first girlfriend. So there you go.
Some type of disclosure there, I think.
Yeah. I didn't even know there was an actual photograph picture of a face on Mars when I saw that movie. So there you go. Next up, dynamic independent researcher Ricardo Calvario from the Institute for Natural Philosophy and also the Shaman and Philosopher podcast, co-host with Jason. He is here to shake things up. He's uncovering ancient histories, wild resonances, and alternative philosophies that challenge everything we thought we knew, and he does it with unbending insights that make every Mars mystery for him feel brand new and exciting. Buddy, friend, favorite Mars movie?
Hi, how are you? So
fantastic.
my favorite Mars movie, I would say Mission to Mars, Red Planet, and John Carter.
Mission to Mars, Red Planet, and John Carter. Okay, cool. We don't have John
Mission
Carter
to
coming
Mars and Red Planet are from the 2000s, 2000 year. So they launched two movies on the same year about Mars.
Yep, and we'll notice during my presentation a change in how they present Mars over the years. So look forward to that.
Does Blue Planet Red count? Can I change my vote?
It should.
I'm just sitting here thinking about it going, damn. I should have said that. Brian's movie.
We're
Sorry,
talking
Brian.
Hollywood, but it was a good segue into the next guest, the man himself. Award-winning filmmaker and fearless journalist Cory Dobbs, a brilliant director behind the groundbreaking Mars Disclosure documentary. Blue Planet Red, as Jason mentioned, he's right on the front lines, dropping shocking evidence of ancient life, advanced structures, and game-changing events that could flip everything we know about Mars on its head. I'm really curious, what is your favorite Mars movie?
Dude, Dave, these intros are epic. Great job. Favorite Mars movie? Let me interpret this. Everybody already picked the best ones. So, God damn it, this internet connection. I'm going to come in here from a different angle here. I'm going to go with Doom, 2006.
Ooh, yeah, good choice.
Some
Video
of you are
game
like,
reference.
wait, what the hell is he talking about? Yeah, it has its charm. Okay. It wasn't the best, but I'll take it. All right.
Were you a Doom video game player?
Oh, hell yeah.
Awesome.
Dave, the intros are great. I just wondered, can you talk faster?
No, I cannot. That's the fastest I can talk. And lastly, get ready to welcome our very special guest, Gary Leggiere, better known as the Mars Revealer. This eagle-eyed independent researcher is famous for spotting incredible anomalies, faces, and hidden artifacts right in NASA's Mars imagery. With two of his latest explosive finds and sharp artifact examinations, Gary is bringing some of the freshest and most exciting discoveries to the table today for his first appearance on Mars Disclosure Live. Welcome, my new friend. And do you have a favorite Mars movie?
Hey, so can you hear me right?
We can, but you're echoing.
Yeah, I don't know why.
Now you're not. You're good.
All right. Yeah, so hello, everyone. Nice to meet you all. Some of you already met. No, hello, the others I haven't yet. How you doing? But, John, you brought up the mission to Mars. There's two of them, actually. Mission to Mars with the face. But if you notice, there was, what was the big prospect in that? They were trying to solve a code.
Yes.
And it was that code which led them to go inside the face, therefore under the surface of what was being seen on the surface. I'll leave that at that. That's for a whole nother show and study. But the other one from the 50s, maybe some of you may not have ever heard of it. I covered it on my show before the Martian Revelation. Rocket Ship XM. Now, that's an old time. They have a color version, but it was originally done in black and white. But they go to Mars. The first thing they're able to breathe, but they need a little help. But they're able to breathe. Blue skies in the color version. They come across a dead civilization, structures, ruins, and radioactivity.
Ooh.
How the hell did they know? But anyway, not only that, they come upon a statue of a face sculpture.
Ooh.
An iron face, nothing big like the structures, just like, something buried in the sand. They're uncovering it. They're like, whoa, look at this. They hone in on it. It's a face. Oh my God, it's incredibly radioactive. We got to get out of here. So that, again, in the 50s, enough said. You can look back on the archives of the Martian Revelation or look it up on YouTube. They got it there. But those are my two pretty much favorite of Mars. And of course, like a couple of the others said, Mars Attacks. Ack. So,
Sweet.
If I may, Dave,
Yes.
he mentioned something very interesting. How did they know about the radiation? On the 27th of August, 1941, Mr. Tombaugh reported seeing a huge flash on the surface of Mars and ascribes it to a flash of a nuclear atomic explosion.
Now, John, you brought up a good point because you said 1940. Every periodical you brought up a great 1941, whatever. Every so many years, there's flashes that come off the planet. I'm glad you brought that up because no one I ever talked to really brings up, maybe one person. And the people that have seen it, it was like there was a Japanese, I think Chinese
And the
astronomers.
Hubble.
Astronomers here, you won't see talk about it that much. My opinion, those certain flashes that are supposed to happen because of the constructed, artistically sculpted entire planetary surface. I will not go down that road, but I'll say this, that periodically, depending upon the planet's orbit or position, because you know it's not circular, it's more like a big egg shape. So periodically, depending on certain times and angles of the sun position, it may hit certain areas of the planet in that orbit to where it'll throw off flashes. Now, my theory is could the flashes, at least from our line of sight, other line of sights, they might throw out flashes that we don't see, but maybe someone else does.
Gary,
Somewhere.
let's save the flashes for a different show. There's some more internal discussion we got to have about flashes before we talk about it publicly. But anyway,
I also need to intro Sarah.
yeah, we gotta get Sarah.
I also forgot. I'm just going through. I'm trying my best here, guys. But meet Sarah Cosmos from the Universe Unveiled podcast and the
Hello,
Institute
Cosmos.
for Natural Philosophy. She's pure cosmic energy with fearless dives into hidden truths and big picture wonders. With her vibrant vibe and sharp insight, she lights up every conversation and helps us see Mars and our place in the universe in a whole new, thrilling way. Sorry I missed you there, Sarah, but thank you for joining the show. Favorite Mars movie?
Oh, good. I knew you'd get to me. Mission to Mars, and I'm not just copying John Ward. Actually, we discussed this very topic in our episode with Brian Cory Dobbs about the Mars movie. So definitely Mission to Mars. Love it.
Awesome. So the chat is popping off right now. Megan's dress up game is on point as usual. There's a couple that were mentioned in the chat that we're going to talk about today. The Angry Red Planet in 1959 was wickedly awesome. We're going to check out a trailer to that, so hang tight for that. Also, R.K. Miller said Robinson Crusoe on Mars. Has anyone seen that one?
Yeah.
Well, we're gonna check out.
And we have Total
related to
Recall
that.
too.
We're getting to Total Recall as well. So I'm about to take you guys on a journey through Mars in Hollywood over the years. Okay, but first I must say this is a fair use disclaimer. We're going to try to do this without getting copyrighted. This presentation uses short movie clips under fair use for commentary, criticism, and education, and transformative analysis regarding Hollywood's portrayal of Mars and its connection to Mars disclosure topics. So please don't copyright me.
Hey, Dave, real quick, we might have
Yes.
a better chance of getting through this copyright issue if you just leave off the sound. I don't know if that kills the game, though.
Well, I'm going to try to do like 5 to 15-second clips, and I'm thinking that'll work.
Yeah, 12 to 15 seconds, you got away with it.
Yeah, and also I'm going to be like overlaying some stuff over the clips and stuff. But the stuff before, like the 1970s, we don't have to worry about. All right.
Are they YouTube videos, Dave? Like you got the
Yes.
stuff off you? Okay, I have not run into any issues sharing YouTube videos, no matter what they were. I've shared music videos because I wanted music, as long as I had the artist video up front and I was literally sitting there going, "Hey, check out this video." You know what I mean? I haven't, just saying personally.
Well,
that's all.
Hollywood, 20th Century Fox, they're all over this shit. So
They need
we're-
money.
Let me just add this. I tried including just a 10-second clip from my own film in one of my YouTube videos, and I got hit with a copyright strike.
I get
Really?
copyrighted by
Yeah,
myself
facts.
all the time. So
Wow.
but I fair use YouTube. This is a fair use thing. Okay. So first up, the oldest one I could find.
Sorry. What about if you play it at 1.5 times the speed? Will that work?
It might. I can give it a try.
Sorry, man. Didn't mean to open up a can of worms. You go, Dave. Just do it.
Yeah, you go.
Yeah, do it.
The best solution is always to download the video and invert the image, and therefore the recognition cannot tag onto the video. That's what everybody does. You just
Well-
invert the video, not backwards.
We're not due. It's
Right
too
to
late.
left.
It's too late for that.
I know.
No, AI is definitely not going to trigger on this now, Dave.
So maybe I'll do it with no sound with the ones after 1970. But I really don't think it's a big deal because it's not the end of the world. We're just having fun here. So let's take a fun journey through Mars history from the lens of Hollywood, from the early days of pure imagination and paranoia to the modern era of big budget sci-fi. Here's how pop culture has depicted the red planet over the decades. The first one we're going to do is Invaders from Mars, 1953. A young boy witnesses a flying saucer land in a sandpit and watches Martian invaders mind control his parents and the whole town in a classic 1950s Red Scare paranoia. So let's check out the trailer for that. This one, it won't get us.
Any problem, we just blame it on Alec.
There you go. Is it Sharon? Should be Sharon. Why
We don't have copyright here in Poland.
There we go. Lucky. All right, let's go. 2 minutes. Gee whiz. Feel free to talk during this because that helps the disclaimers.
Innocent people only to destroy. Father turned against son.
Oh!
Changed into strange, weird animals.
Weird animals. Why?
The general of the army becomes a saboteur.
Well, now that's a documentary.
Trusted police turned into arsonists.
Why?
The boy's parents changed into killers.
They were smoking reefer.
Reefer madness.
But nobody's getting anywhere out there. Nobody can locate anything. Anybody. The Martians. We've got to stop them.
Oh, shit, who's describing the world today, wasn't he?
Invaders from Mars. Capturing humans at will for their own sinister purposes.
Nice question.
Instruments of destruction.
I think that was a room in Epstein's Island, wasn't it?
Just figured out my next costume.
They went crazy with the budget.
Invaders from Mars.
Amazing.
Weird, fantastic beings
Oh,
of
that's
superintelligence.
off-putting.
Ruling a race of synthetic humans and pitting them against mankind's dream to conquer the universe.
Looked like one of Elon's designs, those.
They were dropping some truth bombs.
Those are much better looking.
But possible.
Possible. Who knew a world where synthetic humans would be a topic of discussion?
But I got it back.
I predicted the fake alien invasion back then already.
So the Martians are brainwashing everyone from a backyard sand pit. Does this feel like early Hollywood disclosure of NASA-style mind control and cover-ups? Anyone?
If we are the aliens, then yes.
Has anyone seen that movie in the chat or anyone on the panel?
I have to go see it now, though.
Yeah,
I'm totally gonna watch it.
It looks like it has its uses, huh?
It's epic. 1950s Red Scare stuff that was popular in the 1950s. We're gonna see a little bit more of that here in a second, but I thought that was hilarious.
Well, it is. It's the type thing, Dave, that gets made now on purpose, right? Truly. So it is funny seeing it.
Well, that was
our
made on
modern
purpose too, I think.
Well, I mean, was it? What year was it? Well, you know what I mean by that.
1953. Yeah.
When we see that, and like Sarah and I were both kind of losing our shit with our mics on mute, we were laughing at it, and people have mined that, and actually used that now to make movies as a form of comedy, making it like those were made, though they weren't made, with comedy in mind back then. Yeah.
Totally.
Just keep in mind that the reaction we are having now by watching this movie was the same sensation that the people were making the first Star Wars. They thought he was completely insane. The costumes are absolutely ridiculous. This is going nowhere. This looks like a Z movie. So, and see how it turns out.
Ricardo Petrazzi in the chat has seen it. So yeah, there you go. You can watch the whole thing on YouTube, I'm pretty sure. So next up, the Angry Red Planet. Somebody mentioned that. The Angry Red Planet is 1959. The first manned crew lands on Mars, fights giant spider rat monsters and carnivorous plants, and gets a creepy alien warning. And spoiler alert, but only 2 of them survive. Can you guys see that? Good, you can see it. All right, let's watch this one.
Is there life on Mars? For centuries we have wondered. Now, for the first time, through the new photographic miracle of cinemagic, you will see the wonders of this strange and terrifying world when you see the angry red planet. Join this daring crew.
They are using the power images from Mars
to attempt to land on Mars.
Shut up, Ricardo. I want to watch this one.
7, 6, 5.
They set the mood, don't they? They suck you right in, man.
2, 1, fire.
Thunderbirds are go.
Astronauts Gerald Moore, Nora
Look at
Hayden,
Gerald's teeth.
Les Tremaine, Jack Crucian.
Do we know what it's angry about?
Space to the unknown.
That's such token character casting.
Good question.
Oh,
That she cut all that red hair off.
That scream was amazing.
Man comes alive in cinemagic. You'll see buildings miles high in
The Martian Chronicles.
Journey to the center of sudden terror in cinemagic. Be trapped by the tentacles of man-devouring plants.
Mandalorian.
What was that Mandalorian doing to her?
That spider's actually pretty sweet.
it looks like a bat.
Your eyes will see the
Yeah,
wonders of a
the
world
walking bat.
no eye
I
can
question the direction that the director gave her right before filming that scene. I don't think it was terror that he told her to emit.
The angry red planet. So, question for the panel: has anyone ever seen that before?
Nope.
You know, it's interesting to me that they didn't know much about the surface of the planet yet. So most of this is pure imagination. I think it's great imagination. What do you guys think?
Well, that's what I was always saying. The image they use for Mars, it's from Powell books. The first guy to draw Mars, and with the
Canale.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the
we call it Canale.
they used one of his images for that.
Mm.
I love
Who,
it. Dave.
Percival Lowell? You said Percival Lowell?
It reminds me of
Yeah,
the creative.
I said Powell, but maybe it's that.
There was
Yeah, it's
also
Lowell.
No,
a World
okay,
of the
thank you.
Worlds.
But it wasn't an Italian.
Go ahead, Jean.
I think it was an Italian.
That's Schiaparelli, maybe so many years before Lowell. But he wasn't seeing it as detailed, for lack of a better term, until Lowell's telescope. He was able to get close. They kept the name Canale, termed in English canals, but pretty good. You should also see Red Planet Mars, 1952. That's all I'll say.
Oh, I don't got that one queued up, but
Wow.
maybe
Red
for
Planet.
maybe for
Also.
next show. I accidentally got rid of the Robinson Crusoe one. That's fine. This one's called Capricorn 1. In 1977. Has anyone seen this one?
Only on documentaries they mentioned that.
Like the moon fake, the Mars fake.
Yep, NASA fakes the entire first Mars landing in a studio because the real mission is too dangerous, then has to cover it up.
Moon landings. Oh, yeah.
Let's go ahead and share that one. Hold on a
And the
second.
silence
Wait
is
for this bad
deafening.
boy to pop up. Is it coming up?
Yep.
Yep.
All right, perfect. Just a little lag. I'm not going to play this whole one. It's 3 minutes and 27 seconds.
Take the red overlay. It started there already. The red overlay. When we know the sky is blue. Yeah.
If the guy is on Mars, why there is a red ball flashing on the screen pointing to Earth, the position on Earth?
Camera now. I have the camera.
Hmm.
Picture will get shaky.
Yeah,
Movie making got creepy, didn't it?
If Stanley Kubrick made it, there wouldn't be those strange balls of light, yeah.
Houston, I am
You'd see them reflecting from above, from the studio lights.
Rocks seem very porous.
And it would actually be good.
Look at them walking slow motion.
Ready, slow mo.
Oh, apparently O.J. Simpson is in this.
Yeah. Yeah, he's got that glove.
Houston, I'm on the surface.
The suspense,
We are
though.
going to set the flag on the surface. We do not claim this planet.
This is foreshadowing at its best, in my
Claim it in the
opinion.
name of all the
Yeah.
people of the planet.
Again, look how slow mo.
Will increase the
If you were really on Mars, you'd be a lot faster. You ever see John Carter? John Carter.
From the president.
Houston, I am starting the tape. To the men of Capricorn 1, I bring you greetings from your fellow Americans and all of the citizens of the world. You are so far away. It takes light more than 20 minutes to reach you from here.
Get the fuck out of here.
Not only
Get
light,
the fuck out of here.
one could say time. You are in another time from
Is the guy on the right sleeping?
the future. We will never be the same. For this moment, more than any moment in our history,
Very depressed.
has made all of the people in the world
I
realize
will.
that we are part of a planet, that is part of a system, that is part of a universe. We are a small, energetic species, capable of
Ready
pettiness,
to go how the
yet
flag should be
capable
frozen.
of brilliance. We know how bad we can be.
The stiffest flag you ever saw.
Are you serious?
Check out the shadow in the background. You can see the lander.
The same
there's-
Moonlander, cardboard and aluminum foil.
There's the lighting. Oh, yeah.
You have crossed the last great frontier, and you have shown us what we are. People.
We're full of shit.
Colors and religions and ideologies.
So I'm gonna stop that there. All right, is that? Are we foreshadowing there? What's going on? That seems that seems awfully familiar. Anyone?
It's comical, man. It's comical. Look how slow-mo they're walking around. Think of John Carter. I should have said that earlier, too, from a Barsoomian point of view. You know, how fast and how strong we would be. They're like walking on the moon. The same shit. Looks like the same piece of shit craft, even. You know, well, cardboard tubes, aluminum foil. I mean, yeah, that landed on the moon.
Jason, I know Jason's got a comment on this.
No. Well, first of all, the first thing that comes to my mind, man, is there's an occult saying, right, that anytime you're up to no good, you have to let the people know about it, right, so that they are whether knowingly or unknowingly consenting to it, right? So that does pop into mind when you show me that. The one thing I'd say too about that third one, man, I like the first two clips because they remind me of. Boy, I saw the difference in Hollywood, right? And I'm reminded of, what is it, the Orson Welles radio show that it was about the invaders and whatever they used that for. But I really, really liked you playing those first two, man. That just triggered some nice nostalgia in me and showed me, that whatever. Hollywood
he was
used to
actually
be.
reading his book, Jason. He was not trying to frighten anybody. He was actually just reading his book. There weren't television.
Right. No, I know, but whatever. It's
No, they made it to be as like a live event, though.
Yeah,
that
right.
Was the problem.
There-
That
there's-
was the op. That was
there's-
the op they were doing.
There's
And
a
you know where they did
question,
it?
right?
You know what? You know what they did it in the OSS building.
Yeah.
Since somebody mentioned it in the chat, I did pull it back up. Robinson Crusoe goes to Mars, or Robinson Crusoe on Mars. I've never seen this one. Can you guys see it yet? Yeah. Okay, cool. Let's check it out.
I think it's Robinson Crusoe.
100% true.
It's not Caruso, it's Crusoe.
You know what I mean.
Yeah. No, Caruso is the guy of the glasses.
Science fact come to life
Oh, look at that.
on Hell.
Is that a fresh blanket of snow?
What was that, Moon of the Monkey?
Suspense of this first two-man space probe, traveling more than 71 million astromiles toward Mars.
Is that Adam West?
Okay, this I like.
Here are all
Oh,
the
my.
unexpected terrors of outer space.
Unidentified flying mass. Dead ahead. Collision course. Fire main retros. Firing
That's
main
Batman. It's Adam West.
Mars gravity's taking over, pulling us
It
down.
sure is. Look at him.
Prepare to eject. Emergency procedure.
See?
Blast off when you're ready.
Young kid.
The scorching surface of the fire swamp that is Mars.
It's like Dante descending.
A world no man has ever seen, and now one man must explore alone. A temporary home is found. How long can a man stay alive?
Now, my two most difficult problems are air and water. I have, with what's left in my tank and one reserve cylinder, enough oxygen for, about 60 hours. Of course, once my air gives out, water won't matter.
No air to breathe. But suddenly an unexpected source of oxygen. The life-giving miracle of the yellow stones that burn like coal. Here is a modern Robinson Crusoe struggling for survival in a cruel environment. Finding water. Discovering a source of nourishment. But unable to lick the most terrifying problem of all.
You've got to face the reality of being alone forever.
The devastating laser beams with which spacemen from the constellation Orion
Oh, War of the
excavate the rare
Worlds.
minerals of Mars.
From Orion. Okay.
The escaping slave worker who becomes a modern man Friday.
Anunnaki legend.
The storm of burning ashes whose fury descends on Mars.
Catastrophe
The polar
legend.
ice cap and
How
the
many
wild
movies is
surface
this
storms
movie?
that cover the planet with freezing cold.
Who's that guy?
Sage.
The holocaust of searing hell when Mars and a flaming asteroid collide and turn the ice cap into molten lava.
Boy, they're working all the
Violent
history
source
in
of
this, aren't they?
bombardment of Mars by attacking humanoids from another galaxy.
All right. That actually seems like a pretty dope movie. I'd watch
Yeah.
that.
I'll
Anyone
watch it.
else?
Yeah, I'll watch it.
Is that all you guys got out of that?
I mean, I'm just thinking about the scientific
No.
accuracy of it.
Yeah,
What-
Brian?
Look like the beginning of the film
Definitely
said.
watch it, but Gary,
Like the
they
big-
certainly put a lot of history in there. Just to echo you and springboard you there, they put a lot of history in there. It seemed, especially there at the end, they were cramming in catastrophe and just sort of a lot of human history into a bit. Go ahead.
Well,
Dave.
at the beginning, it said based on science facts. What science facts? They go there. Air could be, oxygen could be got out of the rocks. I had Brandenburg on the Martian Revelation. We played this movie. He talked about the science. A civilization that was on Mars, human slaves. What are they trying to tell us? It's very interesting, you know what I'm saying? And we're not alone. So what are the, based on science facts? I don't know. I find that incredible.
Let me just say that in 2024 they released a paper showing that the mineralogy that exists in the abyss between certain island, so between Cuba and Mexico, if I'm not mistaken. They dropped the sound because, and they were doing different experiments, but the sonar, the sensor started to detect increasing levels of oxygen in an anaerobic or whatever it is called, sorry for my English, area of the ocean. And so they investigated and they realized that there are some stones, type of minerals, of stones at the bottom of the abyss that have cobalt, and they call it polymetallic stones. And these stones are somehow interacting with one another and creating electrolysis at the bottom of the ocean and producing oxygen. And that's why there's species living at those depths that need the oxygen. They are taking the oxygen from what is produced from the stone. So stones can produce oxygen, but
Yeah. Even there's like extremophiles that live like underneath the polar ice caps and stuff like that.
oh, and sulfuric acid and
yeah, and they create their own oxygen and they create their own energy and all kinds of stuff in ways that I don't think we totally understand. So
And on the outside of the space station.
Yep.
Well, we know that Mars' surface, as it is today, it's producing what? And it's not just in the atmosphere; it's coming from the soil, from the surface, methane, and
Yes.
also spikes of oxygen.
Yeah.
So where's that coming from? Obviously, it must come from some type of life going on in the surface, right? Being released. And, well, where's it all going? That's not what they really care about. They're looking down and seeing the things of which is really why many of us are so compelled and overwhelmed and also obsessed with what's seen on Mars. That's what they're looking at. They don't give a crap. Where's the water? What happened to the atmosphere? They know these things. They're looking down on the big terrible secret, how we show everybody this.
There you go. Somebody mentioned this one. It was I loved this movie when I was a kid. I was a big Arnold Schwarzenegger fan. We've got Total Recall. Arnold Schwarzenegger gets memories implanted, ends up on a gritty, mutant-filled Mars with over-the-top action. Anyone else like this movie?
Oh, yeah, the huge pyramids. Gary, the huge
very
pyramids.
entertaining when it came out.
Dude, let me just say, if you rewatch it now, in light of all that we've been discussing, it's uncanny about how much they got right.
Yep.
I need to go back and watch it then.
That's supposed to be the
didn't know that.
DNM pyramid, by the way, back there.
It's less science fiction and actually more rooted in the data that we've collected about this planet over the past 50 years. I don't know if they knew that at the time, but going back, you can see a whole lot. You can appreciate it in a whole much deeper level these days.
What about the three-boobed lady? Was that
Yes,
was that accurate?
Scientific accuracy, no matter where it comes from, Dave.
You're about the same age I was when this came out, weren't you, Dave?
Yes. Yep. Okay, so I'm gonna leave the sound on. I'm gonna turn.
I'm sure P.T. Bond had a few ladies with 3 breasts.
Remember, there's 3 pyramids in Giza.
Oh, it's a sacred number. 3 is a sacred number.
True.
Everyone talk a lot during this, okay? Let's go. This is Arnold Schwarzenegger, Quaid, arriving on
Oh, you're
Mars.
putting the new version.
Oh, let's go.
Oh, no, it's the original. It's the original.
You mean the pyramid mine?
Pyramid mine.
I used to work there till they found that alien shit inside.
Can everyone talk? Say
Yeah.
stuff.
Look at that jawline.
Well, it's terrible, isn't it?
Pyramid mine.
Did that lady have 3 breasts because there's 3 pyramids in Egypt?
A pyramid
Dude.
mine.
Do her
Alien technology.
nipples shoot out light?
Yeah, and the way they depict how to survive there is pretty much on.
I mean, breasts are an energy-producing machine when you think about it. You know, not only do they feed babies, but, you know, think of what they do to your average male. That's I think you're onto something there, Jean. The 3 pyramid, 3 breast theory. It might pan out here, man.
Absolutely, dude, absolutely. And if you look, they're aligned in the shape of Orion's belt as well.
Look how
But
they
it-
use the canyons.
It won't be in this version, though.
Got the red skies going again. And
PG rated.
There's definitely no dead people buried in there.
So
Probably a few obelisks to be found.
I'm gonna stop sharing there, Brian. You it's definitely too red, but you said they got a bunch of stuff right. What did they get right in that movie when you watched it second time around?
I just once they start like the whole premise of the film is that he's going there and he's trying to right all of the injustice there, and in the process of doing so uncovers all of this ancient alien technology that is buried within these pyramids.
Right.
And if we are to introduce what remote viewers have seen about Mars and the metaphysical analysis by channelers that I'm in touch with, it's not that far from the truth if you allow that into your narrative. Now, if you're just talking about nuts and bolts, I think at the very minimum, at the very least, we've identified these structures as being pyramids on Mars. Them addressing this in this film, it might seem like science fiction, and maybe I don't know how much people probably only understood it as science fiction when the film came out in the late 80s, I think it was. But now we've got the benefit of these Mars guys, Gary and John, actually looking at the data and the photographic evidence, and it is confirming this. So I rewatched it last year, and I had a much more religious experience with the film. I know it's popcorn and it's great, and Arnold and Three Boobs and everything like that. That's fantastic. But this whole thing really resonates with me spiritually, man. It's just because we're talking about a lost civilization on another planet, what happened to them. So anyway, I can appreciate it on that deeper level. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, it's quite ingenious, the fact that they use this heated cores to dig into the ice and create sublimation and thus create oxygen from it. And they're not saying that the planet will become breathable instantly, but they're saying that in a medium period you'll start to have oxygen, and so people won't have to be enslaved or paying for oxygen or whatever it is.
Yeah. And it portrays, unlike those earlier films we were seeing on Mars, like it is a harsh environment to live in. And you were reminded of that constantly throughout the movie, like things are on life support.
Desert in very high altitude because
my goodness.
It's a built-in terraform system, and not only that, what it shows is that there's corporations, there's people there now, in essence, and that's what Quaid was, trying to remember, and is on the secret mission there against himself. It was an underground terraform system. They didn't want to do that. They wanted to stay secret, control the mineralogy, control the people's knowledge back on Earth that don't know shit about that surface. And that's the cover-up. It represents the cover-up that's in play about Mars. Oh, are we already there?
Yep. Orion Bra.
Oh my gosh! I
think this movie represents very well what may have been alternative free, the project. If they succeeded it, this is exactly what they want to create. Use the canyons to use underground structures because it's much easier to control the environment. They are away from the sun. It shows it.
David, I think also we have firmly established that breasts like pyramids do generate energy just by looking at our chat. Thank you, chat. That was hilarious.
I'm just laughing because there's a serious conversation going on with half of us, and then half of us are just yucking it up about
You want to hear a more bizarre aspect of what that underground terraform system is? It blows out oxygen, right?
Yeah.
Therefore, people can breathe. Now, read between the lines. What I'm trying to say. Then people can breathe. That means what? Oh, they'll be able to talk about what's being covered up, and that's the whole thing that's trying to be prevented. The whole movie, people from talking about it and mess people up. And if they have people up there, they're human slaves or whatnot. Maybe alien mix. We've heard rumors. I'm sure you guys will cover on this show, and many others have. But that's the speak was then once you breathe, you could speak, right? Remember his eyes bulging out. Oh, I'm alive. Yay. Now, you can speak. And they survived the cover-up. Think about it. And it's alluding to what? It's alluding to a code that goes to UFO diaries. That's a future show that'll blow you away.
Shout out to
Wow.
the super chat, Arnold in the 3 boobs. Wow, thanks for putting that image into my head brain. You're welcome
Mama.
to everyone. Yeah, was that you that went, Mama? I lost it, man, when you did that. Oh my
I was
god.
like, who the hell did that?
The triplets comment too. Like,
yeah, for triplets. Oh my gosh. All right, we got a couple more to do, and then we'll be done. We'll be done with this. We talked about Mars Attacks. So let's just take a quick look at Mars Attacks, just for fun. Can we see it yet? Anyone?
I had a high school teacher, Dave, that used to tell me that more than a handful was a waste. So, 3 just definitely falls into
A high school teacher? All right, we got to talk over this one too, guys. So talk
It was a
away.
different time.
Hey, we all make mistakes, Mr. President.
We don't make mistakes.
Not anymore.
Jack Nicholson.
The man.
This is a good role, man. I liked his role in this one.
It's amazing how many famous people they got for this film.
yeah,
Like everybody's in this thing.
classic.
It really is a classic, and it was a blockbuster, man. And I think everyone went to see it in the theater back when it came out.
I don't think we rented in Blockbuster. We used to have these video clubs called Blockbuster.
All right, we're going to try to get through these here. We got Mission to Mars coming up next. Everyone mentioned that as one of their favorites, so I think we'll talk about it for a second. But
again, codes.
Yeah, what's weird about this one is, like I said, I went to see it in theater with my first girlfriend on my first date, and went well, got a kiss and everything at the end.
Rock
but
on.
I gotta
My
say,
man.
I didn't know about the actual face on Mars, so that was like a whole new thing for me. But the movie was life-changing for me. It totally blew my mind. I've seen it probably 20 times.
I thought you were going to say that you didn't know about the kiss, but it was...
What the hell is that?
So, great cast in this movie, by the way. Absolutely outstanding cast with Don Cheadle. What's his name from Shawshank Redemption?
Yeah, crap.
Tim Robbins.
Gary Sinise, Tim Robbins. Absolutely outstanding.
And great Vangelis music.
Oh yeah, there we go. Tim Robbins.
No, Andy Dufresne.
Andy Dufresne, there you go.
Our better special effects coming into play.
Brian, I think we should plan a Mars movie.
Marathon?
What do you think?
Yeah.
A disclosure movie.
Megan will treat the wardrobe.
Steven Spielberg's Disclosure movie's coming out soon in June. Eh? That's going to be a blockbuster.
That'll be great.
Yeah, Brian, let's make a movie, man.
So there's a scene in this movie where Tim Robbins and his wife are like trying to fix something on the outside of the craft right before they get to Mars. It's one of the most intense scenes in cinematic history because they're husband and wife, and like she has to like let him go and he has to let her go in that series. And that scene is absolutely heartbreaking. But the movie is pretty intense from start to finish. Sarah, were you one of the ones who said it was your favorite Mars movie?
Yeah, that's my favorite Mars movie, hands down.
Why?
It's the other scene. It's the one after they start the countdown, and someone said special effects were great. This was cutting edge at the time. I mean, it was like you were there for the first time. I also saw it in theaters. So, when they finally get down to, the main point of the movie, and they're doing the countdown, and this extraterrestrial whatever comes out and shows the story, like the simulation that it did with the story was just like it cut me to my core, and I don't know why. And it's something that's always just stuck to me. That is my absolute favorite part of that movie is when the alien shows up and runs the simulation for what happened to their planet. Like it's just so powerful.
And then sends the DNA to Earth.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's very emotional.
But at least we now know that they got it completely wrong. There's no planets orbiting nothing as in that.
All right, Mr. Calvario. That'll be enough of that.
Just absolutely blockbuster performances from Don Cheadle, Gary Sinise, Tim Robbins. Gary Sinise decides to go with the ship at the end and does not return because I think his wife passed away or something. She was the one who was supposed to be the original commander of the mission. So it's just full of human, emotion, man. It's just an
he won the prize for solving the code, and the prize was to take humanity out to the stars.
Yeah. Well, and Ricardo mentioned this. These two came out in the exact same year, which was very interesting. Two blockbuster movies with outstanding cast. This one had starring Val Kilmer, The Red Planet. And this one's a little darker and a little more sci-fi. They had a crazy robot dog thing in it as well. We're just gonna play a quick segment of this. Val Kilmer was the man back in the day.
Yeah, this is one of the very few Kilmer movies I haven't seen.
I highly recommend it. It's a very good movie.
What was he in charge of sanitation? Sanitation engineer.
I'm trying to remember. Let me find the.
It reminds me of Space Quest, those movies that you used to get in the 80s and 90s, where the guy's on this spaceship that looks like a giant vacuum cleaner and he cleans sewage systems. He's a janitor, space janitor.
I haven't seen that, but this they're trying to terraform Mars, and the robot goes rogue on them and starts killing them all. So, very good movie. Olek, you haven't seen any of these, I don't think. Are you noticing a trend, a change from the 50s to the 90s as these movies advance?
I haven't watched most of them. I watched these crazy alien ones, and I remember when I was a kid, I also was scared of them, so don't remember it very well because I was too scared at the time. I see a huge difference from the 50s, 60s movies and then 70s. A huge shift and a huge change in how they portray everything and realism of everything. But also, you see these two movies, these last two were aired in the same year, and I see still a difference between them. The second one looked cheaper for me, but I don't know about the rest of everything. I think that there is some hidden knowledge of Mars that maybe was delayed to the public, maybe some.
And it's also in that movie that the guy takes his visor off and he can breathe. There's oxygen, yeah.
That's right. I forgot about that.
There's another movie, Stranded.
I don't know if I've seen Stranded.
I'll leave it at
Martian.
that. You gotta watch it, and we should do a show on that.
We're gonna get to my second favorite Mars movie. Okay, starring the OG himself, Ice Cube. All right, the Ghost of Mars. Absolutely love this movie. Has anyone seen this?
Years ago.
The Ghost of Mars.
It was supposed to be
Nope.
a routine prisoner transport.
There he is.
On the suspicion of murdering 6 rail workers. The bodies were hung and
Got that strong ass eyebrow.
But here,
Oh yeah.
a million miles from home,
Hello?
Anybody home?
Here?
Jason Statham.
Oh yeah.
I ain't going back.
they're about to discover nothing is what it seems.
Who's the chick? Is that
We've got a situation here. Everybody in the mine's gone
Is that-
inside.
Charlize Theron.
What the hell is going on out
I don't know her name.
No.
She was super famous though.
It takes us. I'm talking about a kind of possession.
Natasha Kinski?
Something's kicking up.
Maybe.
We need us.
Who's the chick in Species?
None of us is gonna survive if we don't stick together.
Oh yeah.
Come on. Time to stay alive.
Time to stay alive. So, in that movie, Ice Cube he's a prisoner, but he ends up joining the police to fight ancient ghosts possessing the miners. So ancient ghosts on Mars possessed all the miners and started going rogue and killing everyone and turning them into so realistic? I don't know, but full of action and Ice Cube one-liners. Oh yeah, oh yeah. I honestly think you guys should watch it. It's worth a watch. And then the last one I'm going to show, and then I promise we're done, is what a lot of people say is the most accurate Mars movie scientifically ever, and it might be the most recent blockbuster. And no one mentioned it, I don't think, is their favorite Mars movie. Can anybody guess what it is?
The Martian.
The Martian, yes, The Martian.
Oh.
I like The Martian. I don't know how, if you guys feel about The Martian.
That was funny. That was funny.
It was funny.
Yeah, there were lots of humor. There was a lot of humor in it.
Like funny, unironically, or ironically, or.
Well,
it was
he should.
It's just very realistic in the terms of the technology that we think we have and the odds that he will have. So in that sense, is a very good movie. He went crazy though, but well.
This is the one with Matt Damon. It's all it's so dark.
Matt Damon.
Matt Damon.
Matt Damon.
It's just depressing story.
Well,
like humanity, like that.
It's being lonely, man. It's part of it. It's why the worst thing they can do to you in prison, the biggest punishment, is solitary confinement.
Yeah, I guess.
I think it's the best part
when
of prison
I
is
was
solitary
lonely,
confinement. You don't have to be with the other people.
Well, most people go crazy because of that. Brian, what do you think of The Martian, man?
Yeah, I thought it was an overall great film. Ridley Scott, Matt Damon, great cinematography, grounded in really well-established scientific research about the planet, about the physics there, about what it would be like to live there and survive there, and they have to do the return trip and the timing of it all. There are a few minor quibbles, but overall, solid production.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it too. Matt Damon was outstanding in it. Megan, did you see The Martian?
I remember seeing it back when it came out and enjoying it. Does he end up in some multiverse at the end? Is that different?
No, that's Interstellar.
Interstellar. Okay, I think I'm getting those confused.
Yeah, Interstellar, though, it's not a Mars movie, but it's an outstanding movie. So, guys, I just wanted to end this presentation by saying that Mars movies have always been fun, but to me, and the theme that I see is disclosure and what I call soft disclosure, right?
Yep.
We've been getting soft disclosure about what I believe is truth that's been known for a long time through pop culture, and they did it to us with Mars as well. Would you guys agree?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah. Acclamation.
Concur.
That's what it is.
Ran out of ketchup and had to switch to Vicodin.
Not Mars, but we have a movie about the moon in 2009 called The Moon, where you have this character completely alone, sending message home and receiving message from home. He goes out and do his mining with his big vehicle, right? And then he realizes that he's a clone, right? Because they age.
Moon.
Moon, yeah, that was Sam Rockwell.
And puts
Yeah, I cried in that movie, man.
It's an amazing movie.
Yes, the poor guy. Bloody hell.
I haven't seen that movie.
People
Who's in
didn't
that?
watch it because it was on the sidelines, but it's a very interesting movie.
I think it came out in 2009, Dave.
Yeah, 2009.
Yeah.
Who's in it?
Sam
Anybody
Rockwell.
famous?
He looks like Tom Cruise.
I just wrote the movie for everybody because you don't supposed to know that he is what he is. But
Thanks, Ricardo.
I've got ADHD. I'm going to forget that in 5 minutes, so don't worry about it. But that's the end of my
I learned to tune you out long
Mars
ago,
and
Ricardo.
Hollywood. I just thought we'd have a little bit of fun tonight with that. We've also we got lots more to check out. Some fossil evidence, 2 of Gary's finds, and a little artifact examination with Jean Ward. Brian, why don't you kick it off with fossil evidence?
Yeah, actually, I think John and I both have some presentations on fossils, completely separate stuff. I'd like Jean, if you got your stuff ready, I'd like you to go first, buddy.
Cool.
Jean,
Right.
as usual, has put together a very nice professional PowerPoint slide presentation here. I just love his work.
Now, I wanted to mention we had a comment that was like pareidolia, pareidolia. So let's see what the chat thinks, and let's see what the panel thinks when it comes to pareidolia. So,
Yeah, I'm wondering if that was facetious or not, Dave.
I don't know. I don't know. Hey, was that facetious? Whoever said that?
I think it's because NASA always says everything is pareidolia or geology.
Yeah.
I think it's just a play on words.
Yeah.
Is this better?
Yeah.
Would you rather see everyone and have this view? I think so.
This is good. Yeah.
All right, cool. Go for it,
Right.
John.
So you guys can see my screen, eh?
Yeah.
Those who
as
claim
usual-
about the pareidolia, the NASA that claims about the pareidolia, they're the guys in Total Recall preventing the oxygen from making people breathe.
Oh, of course. All right, so I've listed the source material. So you can go to any of these and check out the photographs you'll be featuring for yourselves. So let's start. The first one. This is directly from the Curiosity rover.
What does that look like to everybody?
Coral.
Coral, same.
Now,
I concur.
Underwater plant, coral.
Yeah.
this, I think, John, correct me if I'm wrong, but this is Paul. I think it's taken directly into the rover. I don't know if Gary or John, you remember this, but from what I remember, it's just a little thing like this, taken right underneath the rover. But
yeah, it's small. It will fit in your hand for sure.
Yeah. Do you recall what NASA said about this?
They reckon it might be electrical discharge, something like lightning that hit the ground, and it made this strange glass feature, and it's uncovered here. They reckon it might be electrical discharge that made something. Like
So
this.
it's fused sand from the discharge, is what they're saying, and then the sand was blown, and this structure was revealed under the sand.
Yeah.
I thought they said it was sort of sedimentary layers that have piled up where river used to go. But
Yes.
regardless, it looks like coral.
Yeah.
It's not the only one that they found. It's just one example, one of the more popular examples. And there it is.
You're right. I'm comparing it to finger coral. This whole area around Gale Crater, around Mount Sharp, I speculate there was lots of water there because of those boxed-in areas that I've shown you in previous videos, those huge boxed-in areas. They could have been something like fish farms or salt mining, that type of paddies, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And this just speaks to it, that there was water once.
That'd be a
in that
tiny
area.
mud plant.
It could be a fulgurite. I think that's what NASA is saying, electrical, like lightning strike
I've
sand,
seen
right?
similar ones on Earth, but they don't quite look like this.
They don't look like this, no.
In essence, what it is something that should be looked closer. That's what it is. Whatever it is.
The closest I can get to, guys, this is the closest. Check it out, man.
Yeah, exactly, Ricardo.
Oleg, what does that
John,
look like to you?
can
I
you-
want to know what Oleg thinks that looks like.
Yeah,
I'd like to see the zoom out. Go ahead, Oleg. I just wanted to see the zoom out. Thank you.
Yeah, actually, I thought because here in Poland we have like a local lore that we have this discharge minerals, but actually they turned out not to be discharge minerals. So we think very similar things we can find almost everywhere here in Poland, and you know, people tell kids that, oh, these are from the discharges because they look like this thing you can show us, but they are a little bit transparent to them. But actually it turns out that they are not discharges at all, but they are remnants of prehistoric belemnites or something like that. So I think here that NASA thinks it's a discharge, but here in Poland, this theory was actually debunked, so it's a little bit strange. And for sure, I know a little bit about geology. I've been collecting minerals and stuff like that. Nothing is, crystallizing or having such a shape in the mineral world, so it's impossible for a natural thing to do that.
Right, shall I move on to the next one, guys?
For sure.
Shall I zoom in? Check that out.
That's weird.
I don't know if it's a rebar or something else. I'll show you a
Can you
comparison.
zoom into it? Can you zoom into that?
It's just strange.
It is
You
strange.
don't want to fall on it, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Did you capture the
It's
kids
got
that were
that
playing with the
drill
rock?
look.
Check there. Cypress trees, right? They grow in swamps and they make roots that stick up out of the water.
Yeah, we call them knees, the cypress knees.
So again, potential traces that this area of Mars was covered in water.
Doesn't this look like it has a spiral?
Yeah, it
Yeah,
does.
it looks
Me
like
does.
it looks like a screw almost. That's why I said you don't want to fall on it
Yeah.
Yeah, I also see a screw in it.
Right.
or sit on it.
Some people might.
If you see the roots,
So-
right? They've
So
also
that
got
would be 3 screws then, potentially fastening whatever this thing is onto something, and then
Well,
that
then-
stuff,
then
the top of it,
Schwarzenegger's
how it looks really flat, like there's a separate piece as well.
Oh yeah, good eye, Jason.
Right? That does sort of stand out.
Yeah. I remember Schwarzenegger said in that movie, "Screw you."
And especially everything, around it is so weathered, so smooth, and here you have like 2 pieces sticking out of it.
Yeah, that's very strange.
See, here, what I find extremely interesting is that, look, we've all been on this planet long enough to know that looks strange, and that natural geology here on Earth has not yet reproduced anything that we have seen that looks anything like that.
No.
So if it's not a rock that NASA can say, hey, we found this strange rock, but here's a terrestrial comparison. I just think NASA should be in a position where they would put this out in front of the public saying, look, we don't know what this is. Help us figure out what this is. Because if it's not a rock, then we have to seriously consider the alternative and that it's an artificial creation.
They won't
But-
do that though. That's their mission. Their
I
mission
know.
is not to do that. Literally.
Right. That's why we're doing it.
Did you see that article from the Black Vault talking about NASA's looking at how to prepare people for disclosure? Did you look at that link that Michael sent us, Brian?
Yeah, I had a quick look at it.
Yeah, NASA's preparing us for disclosure. They're going totally against the Brookings report. If you look bullet point for bullet point,
We'll
they,
see.
Well, that's
flipping.
President
They're
Trump's
flipping.
initiative. It's based on his order of declassifying these things. And again, like Dr. Brandenburg said, our friend there, everyone, Mars should come to us and makes more sense coming forth with the dead civilization on Mars to help acclimate and ease the way to, oh, look, never mind UFOs, they're already here.
Yeah.
Dave,
Those
can
two
I just
items-
can I just point out to the audience? Go ahead, John. But can I just point out to the audience something I've been
Sure.
making notes on for every picture that you've showed us so far, and every picture that you showed me, John, there is sort of a main anomaly, right? Like the fossils. Well, when I looked at the fossils, I also saw what could have easily, if I were on Earth, right, in my own backyard, could decipher as clam-like or oyster-like fossils. Now, in the second one, you showed me 2 screws, which I obviously then, though, after that wow factor, I saw that flat piece on back, which is very strange too. And so,
Yes.
to me, for the audience, just please remember as we continue here, it's the amount of anomalies and how even each anomaly has several within it. That's what gets me, guys.
True story.
Yeah, there's the block behind it.
It's hard to see if it's coming from out of the rock or between that so-called rock and that flat slab behind it. But, of course, they won't drive a few feet up near the thing for us.
No.
Freestanding ore vein, somebody said.
This is the best photograph we got.
You go back to it real quick, Sean. It's not just going up and at any random angle. These things are going straight up, which to me indicates an element of growth, just intuitively. I could be completely wrong, but it's just the variety of different anomalies that we see in these pictures that NASA takes that you cannot, it is unreasonable. I think it is so entirely lazy just to apply this pareidolia term to everything. Oh, we're just seeing things. Clearly we're not.
Those things look more machined than natural, though. That look like a metallic, drill-like.
Maybe that's it.
Yeah, it looks machined. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I'm inclined to agree with Chat and Gary here that if this stone were, you see how it's fallen from all the rest, and if this were a structure, and if these people were constructing and they had metal, perhaps this just fell out and it landed, and that's why these things, just like if I screwed a piece of wood into a wall and it fell out, I'd see these things sticking straight up, right?
That reminds me of rebar.
A couple people in the chat said rebar too. I don't know. This one's weird.
Machine.
I don't have a whole lot to say about this one except that it's weird.
It's interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, these two items in the background are sticking up. I've looked at another photograph that shows the shadow that's being cast off both of these items. There you can see, yeah, the sun was shining directly from above. So you can't really see.
I'm getting like tree roots.
Yeah, same.
Driftwood.
None of you get the impression that we're looking at like rusted metal? It kind of has that metallic, old rusted, ancient, rusted look to it.
People in the chat are saying that.
Corrosion. I could see corrosion.
In that case, it could be just a tube that would go through the whatever it is gone.
This white material looks as if it's like sheet metal that's rusted away. But these things look different when you zoom in on them. They look more like, I don't know, branches or something.
Yeah.
Somebody said boards will split like this, and yeah, they will.
An overturned tree. I mean, it really, that's what that does look like, Sean. I agree with you on that one.
Roots, yeah.
That's very different to the material next to it. The material next to it is thin, like sheet metal, and parts of it eroded or rusted away. But these things are like, there's structure to them. They're thick. They've got thickness to them. Whereas the material next to it is thin.
Looks like rusted iron to me, man.
Right. There's different textures, different shapes here at play, and it's just so odd and anomalous. And by the way, I want to again highlight the work here that John is doing, clearing up, removing that grid-like Bayer filter from these raw images, clearing it up, and giving us a higher quality image to examine. This is exactly what NASA should be doing, but they leave it to the independent researcher community, and I guess fortunately for all of us, we get to make a live stream out of it and talk about it and throw it around the room and discuss it. We don't know what the hell this stuff is. That's what we're just trying to, take a magnifying glass here and figure out what the hell it is.
Yes.
Jason made a really good point that each one of these has each anomaly has anomalies within it.
Pareidolia fulgurates. Pareidolia fulgurates. Pareidolia. All in your mind. We're the ones with the problem. We think we see a branch, man. We think we see a rusted piece of metal. Oh, it's pareidolia. God forbid. They can't destroy every crinoid now.
Some of this stuff probably is pareidolia, but the fact that there's so much anomalies that they can't all be pareidolia. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What's this one?
Okay. Yeah, this one, it may not look like much at first.
Kind of looks like a bone.
Yep.
That's the first impression I got.
Okay, we're going
Like
on
of a spine or
intuition
something.
here.
I'm not
Right.
saying it is. I mean,
Of
just that
course.
looks like, right.
But your eye is trained to spot certain things that can work for or against you. But I think it's worth to take a closer look, as Ricardo just said. Okay, we get a higher quality look at this. And John, throw up the comparison that you found.
It must be a rock. It must be. God forbid if it's anything else. I can't handle that.
Like, look at that.
Is the triangular piece that is beneath it fit in the triangular bit that is missing?
I don't know. I didn't try and make it fit, but it looks. It might have turned, so that you can't see the proper angle. But it looks as if it's split off.
Well, that's one. That is one damn compelling comparison. Like, I think it's disingenuous to say, "Oh, you're just seeing things." Like, clearly there are similar characteristics here, and if we get there and it's just a rock, then sorry, we got this one wrong. But we're saying it. Look, it looks an awful lot like something we're familiar
look
with.
at that groove. Look
Brian.
at that groove.
Yeah.
Look at that groove, though.
You're
and
right.
It, has, it goes down and like something rested in that groove and must
Right.
have pivoted or something for a spot because it's rounded in there. So something was on it and maybe like a part of a joint. I don't know. But that groove is interesting. You should ask some doctors about that, surgeons.
Yeah. Well, in the very least, if I found this in the ground here, I would immediately think there's a very high chance that that groove isn't natural. If it is a stone, mind me, if it is a stone, that groove was worked for some purpose.
Right.
But the texture could represent some fossilized bone because it has that rugged texture on it. So it could be.
Yeah, it looks porous, like
Yeah.
bone would be.
Yeah.
Yes, correct.
Do we have any idea on the size of this one?
I'd say it's about 10 centimeters across.
English, please.
4 inches long.
Okay.
Jason, what were you going to say?
Sorry, Brian. It's just that, with all the pareidoia and the everything, and I always try to bring everything through the lens of my experience, and my experience, of course, here on Earth, right? But still, when we're looking at all this stuff, trying to take one particular item, right, and say I see one particular thing. Now, while that is fun and granted, and it catches a lot of people, still to disarm, I think, a little bit of all this pareidoia claim. What I see, right, no matter what we're looking at, is a hell of a lot of pieces of something, right? All of them exhibiting these signs to which we can't quite ascribe natural phenomena, right? So no matter what each particular thing is, it's this overwhelming amount of these anomalies that makes me see pieces of something, no matter what we guess it might be in particular. Thanks, Brian.
John, have you put that image excluded from the environment, just the pieces, and ask an AI what type of bone you think it might be?
That's
I
a good
can do
idea.
It knows everything.
I can do that. I'll do that experiment. I'll let you guys know.
Just take the rest of it and just ask what kind of animal would be this. So
That's actually a great idea.
Yeah.
People keep saying vertebrae. Jacqueline said vertebrae. I don't know.
Something was definitely in that place, in that groove, in that dialed out. Something was definitely placed there, whether or not it's a rock or not. Something. Nature put something in there, the rest in there, that's looking like it had a purpose.
Below it almost looks like flint napping, like a flint. So below it.
Yep.
I'm almost more intrigued by that, honestly. This is cool, and I've never seen a natural stone that looks like this in particular, but I'm having a harder time with this one. But below I see a flint.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Through that.
Next one. Right. What do you guys see there?
I can see why people always claimed it was a bone.
It's
interesting.
Yeah.
But it ain't human. It ain't human. Look at the two. There are differences. But if it's a femur, being a hominids typically have femurs and such. But it's possible, man. It's interesting. It's interesting.
Let's just say it's a bone for a minute. Let's entertain this idea.
Pareidolia Festival for this one, huh? I don't know. That might fit in there. But it's not unreasonable to discuss about it. The pareidolia, stay away from it.
Right.
This could be a broken down, like what John showed before that was sticking up out of the ground. If this sort of broke off and fell down, like maybe it's just one of those things. I don't know. But if it's not, we always have to remind ourselves whenever we're looking at images from Mars that what we're seeing is at the very least millions of years old. Now, the atmosphere of Mars is less than 1% as dense, and long story short, the erosion rate is not going to be nearly what it is here on Earth. So a bone and things like that might decay if it's exposed to the elements quite relatively quickly here on Earth, but on Mars, erosion is going to take a much longer time. So there's a question in chat, can metal survive millions of years? On Mars, most likely yes. And once things have fossilized rocks, there's not a whole lot of weathering that happens on Mars. So these things are, and it's quite cold. And as Dr. Brandenburg says, things have been essentially preserved in a deep freeze for millions, if not longer, of years. Now, that's a funky looking rock. If that's a rock, that's a funky looking rock that we haven't really seen here on Earth.
Yeah,
so,
but if you point that, then the bones had to be exposed after the erosion factors are removed from the equation. So something had to have happened to this, let's suppose it's a bone, to this creature, right? While the environment was still sustainable, where there was water, where there was atmosphere, right? So,
or when it was blown the shit out of and pieces flying everywhere.
Yeah, but so it has been there after those conditions are created, not as it was when it was a living planet. That's the supposition I'm making in here.
Right, and there's a chat here, comment about Devon Island. Look, I see this stuff all the time. If there's anything to it, I would like someone to come to me with actual direct evidence. Come with me just with source URLs. Don't just come to me with random YouTube or random anonymous unsourced videos telling me that these are all photos from Canada somewhere.
Bring them a ticket. Bring them a ticket to Devon Island.
Like this Canada Devon Island stuff has got to stop because there's I just haven't seen any actual citations of what they're claiming. Anyway.
Yeah, you're right, Brian. Look at the mounds and the hills and things that the rovers photograph. If people can find those specific mounds and hills in Canada, in Devon Island, photographs of them and compare them side to side, yes, then they might be onto something.
Make the argument. I'm open to it, but make the argument, man. Do your homework and come to me with some serious stuff.
Yes. Show like-minded surface features and things that you compare side to side. That would help a lot.
Okay. Do you have a wider shot of this image, and could you see if those brighter stones are elsewhere or just concentrated in this part?
Ricardo, there are other photographs I can look at, but I've only prepared this one.
No, I mean is next time you do, try to see if you find the same type of stones or they are concentrated on just the mere image that you are taking. Because different types of stones don't aggregate in the same place. Normally the geology is more or less the same from place to place.
I think we can see though, and go back, John. I think we can see that in this photo. I mean, to me, it just looks like it's the one that stands out.
Yeah, it's completely different from the rest in terms of color.
Yeah, there's a few little pieces that look like it, and that one piece to the far right that almost looks round, like it's got a little hole in it. That's another odd one. And in the top of this bone, my comment on the bone-looking thing is I see when you're on the zoomed in the shadow right under the ridge, the little mushroom type ridge, it almost looks like a perfectly round hole. I don't know. So when you're down under right there, right where your mouse pointer is, that's just interesting. Don't know what it means, but
Stay on
it's
that
interesting.
image. Stay on that image. All right, go down, go down. Oh, shit. Go to the left. Yeah, go down, under it. More. I'll let you know when to stop. More. Not the one, the next one, right next to it. The next one. Yes, look at that. Look at that groove. Can you zoom in on that? That kind of looks like a bone cut in half. Look at the groove.
Yeah.
Is there a way to zoom in on that?
Not in PowerPoint. This is a PowerPoint presentation.
My bad. Well, let's get
Sorry,
the note
dude.
out. It's probably nothing, but it looks interesting.
It does look interesting. I'd like to see the mono lake photos that this ground stain guy's talking about, just so we're doing our homework and as comparison. But
Yeah, I did look at this.
And there is a flat stone to the right of the zoom out image, completely flat stone in the middle right. Not on this image, the one that you have. No, yes, to the right in the middle, you see a flat stone like a slab. On top, but right on the edge of the image on the right.
to the far right.
No, down a little bit.
Down,
you
down,
don't see the
down.
flat stone there.
Yeah,
Right there.
I do. Yeah, I see
It
it.
looks like it has 3 geometric sides by the look because of the cut of the image. I'm not saying it's geometric.
And in this case, what is that thing on top? Is that the rover?
The shadow.
This.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they took samples from this, almost for sure.
Or they
Yeah,
destroyed
why,
the fucking thing.
why doesn't the rover pick this thing up, look at it, take a whole bunch of pictures, and say, "Hey, internet, what does this look like?" We've done they have the ability to do a chemical analysis of these things. So
Yeah, but Brian, I think this picture is taken after they destroyed the evidence, because I think
Yes.
they were rotating that's
Yes.
Right there in the center. Look right there in
Iron.
the center. It looks freshly broke. Not
Yeah,
enough dust on it, like
exactly.
someone doing pow.
and that's why the dust is not on the other stones.
Can't let people see that.
Yeah, so the stones were mixed up by this two. It seems like how to call it, steel filaments, right? And messed with that center, and that's why some stones are shining, because it took the dust off of them.
Yeah, it even
Yeah.
looks depressed in, like someone just pushed it down.
Yeah.
Brian, didn't you cover an anomaly that was found in a NASA photograph, and then NASA went in and destroyed it?
I'll be doing an extended video on that in the near future.
NASA's known to destroy artifacts.
It sounds like conspiracy theory kind of stuff, but they did exactly that, and we can talk more. Actually, I'm going to be bringing that up in my presentation.
Cool.
I wanted to shout out the chat.
Wait, go
the
back,
chat's-
John. We're gonna come back to this one. Go back to this.
The chat's absolutely on fire right now. They're like putting some of these pictures in AI for us and stuff. Bill Schwantz said that he tried with AI in some of these pictures, and it spits out a NASA, basically a NASA answer.
That's why I said ask AI. It'll tell you everything.
No, you have to isolate.
When it
Isolate
declares
the
itself
bones
God,
completely.
many of you will bow down to it too, won't you?
You have to delete
Yeah.
everything around the bones, otherwise
You've got to do a deep edge, and then also flip the image so that the AI can't go and look at photographs that are already in the archive. You've got to give it something that looks new.
My question is, what was the rover looking for in here? Because I think it was the rover that disturbed this piece of ground right here.
Can you see just underneath the brushes over here that we are
And
moving
one
on?
of the brushes is not perfect as the other one. You see, one of them did hard work because it's all.
This looks like a
Yeah,
piece
it
of
looks
metal.
all abraded, like it just
Yeah,
got done
exactly.
using doing
Exactly.
Yeah, this darker dirt looks like it has been disturbed.
Yes.
something. Yeah, like someone went punch.
The rover's also driven over a number of anomalies a couple of times.
Well, but this is good news, because although they are not bringing any information out, they are testing some interesting things. They are keeping
But
the
not
information.
letting you see it. Not
Mhm.
letting you see it. So that's not good news. The good news is that, yeah, they're able to do that. The bad news is, who gives a shit because they're not letting you see it? That's the problem.
Nothing 500 years couldn't solve. So
Turtlenecks self-hate speed agenda. Indeed. You know.
Brian, shall I move on?
No, well, I'm going to switch to my fossil.
Okay, do you want me to stop sharing?
We'll come back to your container, yeah.
Right. Done.
I've just got about a half dozen guys here. So let's see if I can share this. Presenter view.
The chat is killing it. We're up to 100 live viewers from my end, so that's exciting.
That's great, dude.
Thank you so much, everyone, for joining. We really appreciate the interaction, and we're just trying to get this out there. Just take a look at this stuff. With an open mind. You can like Gary keeps saying, you can. Pareidolia is a thing. You can consider it, but you don't have to be scared of it. You don't just go pareidolia and then run away. Take a look at it and think about it.
All right. Can you guys see this first slide, Potential for Life?
Yeah, we got it.
Okay. So this was just a screenshot from NASA's website. NASA in 1976 went to Mars with the Viking mission to look for life itself, which I think we talked about last time. The biology experiments. Now, they've shifted their tune a little bit and what they say they're currently doing. And Gary is one that reminds us of this as well. Thank you, Gary. That they're looking for signs of ancient life. And here, directly from their website, Potential for Life, scientists don't expect to find living things currently thriving on Mars, because they're adopting their own narrative for the past half century. Instead, they're looking for signs of life that existed long ago when Mars was warmer and covered with water. Now, what does signs of life that existed long ago mean? In my book, that means fossils. So we just went over Jean's slideshow of stuff, and maybe some of them are, maybe some of them aren't. We don't really know. We're just a bunch of regular old folks trying to figure it out, and we're seeing some strange things. So if NASA...
that just should not be there type of things that makes you wonder and want to look for more because you keep finding things. You cannot find something if you're not looking for it.
Right. And thanks to the Mars researchers, we've have a lot of things uncovered. So NASA, my question to you is, does this mean that you are looking for fossils? Okay. Now, I'm not sure how much we talked about microfossils previously, but we're just going to briefly cover that right now because one of the most famous and noteworthy examples actually came in 1996 when Bill Clinton talked about the Allen Hills meteorite that they confirmed actually did come from Mars, and it had this little tiny structure in it that the scientists...
I swear I did not on this rock.
So the NASA scientists who published research on this said that this is the morphology of a microbacteria. There is some debate still to this day. My position is that the point is moot because we have better examples. Sarah, I think I went over this.
You're talking about the strange figure on the left or the bottom small picture on the right?
Can you guys see Bill Clinton here?
Oh, it's Bill Clinton. I thought that was the strange fossil that we're trying to identify.
Okay, sorry. Yeah, this little tiny worm-like creature here.
That's a good one.
Sarah, I think we talked about this on Universe Unveiled, so forgive me if I'm retreading some territory here. But this is what most people consider to be the only example of a microfossil embedded within a meteorite, and that is not true, as I learned for myself making the film, because I got in touch with Richard Hoover. Gary, Gary's been doing this a lot longer than I have. Gary already, talked to Richard Hoover, talked to all these people. So Gary, forgive me if this is yesterday's news, but for some people,
that's all right. It needs to be.
Yeah, for some people,
flushed down. See how old he is, bro? He deserves the respect and the position because he has the balls to not only tell you, oh, I wish you had a picture of it. He'll go, shit. He'll open it right up.
Right, exactly. So for those people who haven't seen this yet, this could very well be paradigm shifting information. NASA astrobiologist. I'm going to click the slide here right after. Let me just say this first. During the film, I met with NASA astrobiologist Richard Hoover. He's now retired. He's in his 80s, but he worked for NASA from 1966 to 2012 up until his retirement. And he has published multiple papers on microfossils found within meteorites. And while I was interviewing him for the film, I didn't know about this, but while I was interviewing him for the film, he's like, yeah, I've discovered microfossils in meteorites. I'm like, well, you know, Professor Hoover, if there was only a photograph we could show, because there's this famous photograph we're looking at right now, the Allen Hills photograph, that gets posted in, you know, major mainstream news websites. But if there was only a photograph we could show to people of your discoveries, and he just laughs, and he did exactly what you said, Gary. He whips it out on his iPod and just starts his iPad and starts showing me at lunch. And I'm like, well, why the hell didn't we lead with this? I got to go back and interview you again about this because I didn't know this. So this is Professor Richard Hoover. He worked at NASA's Marshall Space Flight Center up until his retirement. He's led their
real cool guy. He's a real jolly guy too. Find it easy to talk to. He don't look down on you. This guy knows his stuff, and they prevented him. But go ahead, Brian.
Yes. And so his research directly tied into him being essentially forced out of forced into retirement. For the full story, you can refer to my nearly 5-hour interview with him on YouTube. It's a whole lot, but this guy's research and career is arguably worth the time spent because he's made profound discoveries, and he's not the only one. Apparently, there's a history of finding microfossils in meteorites since 1961. Now, we only know of the one that Bill Clinton talked about, which was a big deal, but there's literally dozens more examples, and here's just one of them. These two critter looking things, and here's a zoomed up version of this thing, is what's called a diatom microfossil, and this came from the Orgueil meteorite, which fell in France. We know this is not the product of terrestrial contamination, meaning the meteorite did not fall and earth critters jump into it. These are fossils. These are not living things. There is no nitrogen content found within these things. That means they have been dead for a very long time. There's missing amino acids and nucleobases. This is not the product of terrestrial contamination. And it wasn't found on the surface. You had to crack it open and look inside. And research published by Dr. John Brandenburg indicates that this Orgueil meteorite, Orgueil meaning it fell in France. It's the town in France that it fell in 1864. Okay. Research published by Dr. John Brandenburg, the isotopic analysis of this rock indicates that it came from Mars. At least that's the position that Dr. Brandenburg has. So when we're talking about fossilized life on Mars, here's yet another example of a meteorite containing arguably, in my opinion, a better morphological example that can be identified by the untrained eye. I don't need to be a geologist or a microbiologist to look at this little thing and say, hey, you know what? That doesn't look like part of the rock. That looks like a little critter.
It also proves panspermia, in my opinion, but hey, I'm not the scientist, but Professor Hoover concurs.
I agree with that. I've got a whole video on that itself. Now, for those wanting to know the full story about this, he teamed up with a Russian group of scientists and published this magnum opus paper, co-published in Russian and in English, okay, with multiple examples of microfossils. They take all on a variety of different morphological appearances, but you can go and read the paper for yourself, where he says this is not terrestrial contamination. Rock came from outer space, most likely Mars, and there are multiple examples of microfossils in it, okay? Now, to take a quick, closer look at what he found in Orgueil, like, these are the most compelling images, in my opinion. There are more examples, but you have to be familiar with cyanobacteria and hystricospheres and different types of morphological shapes on the microbial scale. But these, to me, diatoms inherently, intuitively look like life. So in my opinion, they are much easier examples for the public to accept as microfossil evidence. And as to why this isn't making headline news, I don't know. Now, just a couple of years ago, he's looking at a different meteorite called the Polonnaruwa meteorite, which under scanning electron microscopy, he's looking at these things. See these little gills? This is a different meteorite. Okay? This is a completely different meteorite, and arguably it has the same morphology as the thing that we found here in this. Look, Orgueil fell in France in 1864, Polonnaruwa 2012. How is this not headline news?
Not only that, they've also been determined to originate from Mars. That's the important issue, not from Earth.
Well, and diatoms create oxygen, do they not, as well?
Yes. Yes. Diatoms are responsible for creating nearly half the oxygen here on Earth.
That feels like a key bit of information as well.
Yeah, I would say so.
Okay. These are not living organisms. These are fossilized. They didn't jump into the rock after it landed. The isotopic composition of these rocks indicates these things are not from Earth. How the hell is this not bigger news?
Now, I wonder, were they able to, I think I asked them this, but I don't remember the answer. If they were able, because of that, if there are any ways they could date it, I don't think there was anything materially that could be determined by just the carbon testing, or am I incorrect?
I don't know, Gary. It's a good question. You know,
I forgot. I got to look back on that interview with him.
Right.
I know I asked him, though.
Well, what is true is that since no nitrogen was found in these examples, that indicates every living thing has nitrogen in it, okay? And when there is no nitrogen, takes thousands, if not millions of years to completely leave what was once a living being. So these things are at least thousands, if not millions of years old. That we know for sure. Now, if we're going to get into the macroscopic level here, you know, my question is, how do we identify a fossil? And most of the time, all you have to do is just look at it. Okay, Sarah, I know we went through this on Universe Unveiled. Forgive me, I got to do a little retracing of certain things, but I do have one new thing to add, Sarah, that you haven't seen yet. So stick around. Okay, so what I first need to introduce is the concept of something called a trace fossil. Now, for those of you who don't know what a trace fossil is, it can be understood very easily by looking at this image. It's not the dinosaur itself.
It's not life itself. It's their excrement.
It's where the dinosaur was, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so if you try to think about what footprint all living creatures leave, if we're going on the complete opposite side of the spectrum, imagine in your mind what a worm trace fossil would look like. Okay, it would probably look like a little squiggly line. Worms burrow into the ground. But if all that fossilizes, you can actually carve it out of the crust of the earth and take a look at it and see all these little fossilized burrowing. Okay? And we have two examples here. And I'm going to ask the panel to see if you can tell the difference. One example here is on Earth, okay, and one is on Mars. We see these squiggles here, these little squiggles of lines.
Huh.
All right. So let's go around the room.
Yeah. Someone we haven't heard from in a bit.
Which one's which?
Well, Sarah will know.
Yeah, not Sarah.
Why you gotta throw me out there like that?
I think the left one's Mars, but I could be wrong. I remember this, a couple of years back.
I'm going to go right one is Mars, but I'm really not sure.
The left one has the same coloration from some of the other photos.
Yeah, I'm going left.
Left on Mars.
Left
Okay.
on Mars.
Oleg.
Now, how big is Brian grinning? So let's judge before the next one bets, and you take all our money and win. Okay, let's see Brian smile real quick.
Oleg, which one's Mars?
Actually, I would say at first the right one, but from what we've been discovering on this channel, I would say the first one.
It's okay if it's hard to tell. That's the point of this exercise.
Right.
The left one is Mars, and I want to thank Barry DiGregorio for alerting me to these things. He's the one who actually found these, and I'll show Barry later at the end of this presentation, just here in a few minutes, because it is all about crediting these researchers who spend their spare time, thousands of their hours sifting through thousands of NASA photographs to discover these things. We think NASA is supposed to be doing this. We think NASA is supposed to be photographing stuff. They're searching for life. I just showed you the screenshot from their website. They say they're searching for signs of ancient life. That, to me, includes fossils. And if they're not seriously considering this as a fossil, as a possibility for a fossil, then why not? So now, a worm trace fossil maybe isn't that sexy. That's okay. We've got some more stuff. All right.
There's your sign of life.
Okay. This is the more controversial one that we were just talking about. This here is an interesting creature. It is a sea creature. It is an animal, something called a crinoid. I learned all about this from Professor Richard Hoover. And what we see on the left is the fossilized remains of what is known as a stalked crinoid. It has this, while it is an animal, it kind of looks like a plant that has this trunk that roots into the ground, but these things can actually move around like starfish. They actually hunt starfish, I think, but they can move around even though they look like a plant. But it is, in fact, an animal. But what we need to make note of here is that the stalk, it comes up, while it might be hard to tell, it starts bifurcating, splitting. We can see some splitting here and here, right? And it is right here at this initial bifurcation that I want to call attention to. I have another two examples, okay, of what I'm about to show you is a stalk with the initial impression of a bifurcation. Now again, which one is on Mars, which one is on Earth?
Left one's on Mars.
Yeah, I think too.
It's hard to forget. For those who know, it's hard to forget.
Okay, for those who know, shut up. Let the rest of the room talk. Jason.
Well, the one on the right looks exactly like what you just showed me a lot. It really does. So I'm going to say the one on the left is on Mars, and we'll see what happens.
Okay. Yes. The one on the left is on Mars. We are seeing these platelets here. We are seeing these sections, but we see the hint of a bifurcation right here. We see the hint of a bifurcation right here. I purposely cropped it just so we could get that thing. We see these little tiny bumps surrounding it. We see the little tiny bumps surrounding it. And now, let's just say that you're not convinced. You're looking at this and you're like, I don't know. That's probably just the side of a rock. This thing here is only 3.5, 4 inches large. What's the big deal? It could just be a funky part of the side of the rock. Well, I sent this photo with no context to a paleontologist who worked at the University of Cincinnati. His name was Carlton Brett. And I said, hey, I'm working on a film. I think this is what do you make of, I just asked him, what do you make of this image? Okay. And he responds, this guy, Carlton Brett, who studies sea creature fossils. He says, yes, this looks like a fossil, specifically parts of a crinoid or a sea lily arms. Where did you get the specimen?
Look at hilarious.
Okay. Now, that's all the confirmation I need as a filmmaker to say, hey, you know what? This thing.
Did you tell him?
Yes, I did say.
And?
Okay. I said it was on Mars, and I never heard back from him.
There you go.
But I did. That's just it. He looked at it with his expert eyes, and he says, yes, to me, that looks exactly like what is being claimed. Now, that's good enough for me because he's an expert. Now, maybe not all experts agree with this, but if some of them do, my argument is, NASA, you need to take a closer look at this and alert more people of the possibility of there being fossils on Mars. Now, crinoid's a really funky creature, but hey, we get what we have. The rover's only going in these very, the rover's covering how much percentage of the planet of Mars? We have a limited data set, but what we do have, we got to make the most of. Now, this conspiracy surrounding this is that NASA's trying to cover up stuff. What did NASA do? It's what, it's like sometimes you'll hear it's not the crime itself, it's the cover up that gets you in trouble. What happened next really is strange. NASA, and I'm going to do a video on this so you guys can see more of the photos in detail. NASA used their rock abrasion tool aboard the rover, the Opportunity rover, I think it was, to grind this down to a smooth surface. I don't have the images prepared, but like I said, I'm producing a video on this, and you'll see all the images. They ground this entire thing down. And Professor Richard Hoover asked, why did you do that? And the answer he was given is that they drilled into it, they ground it down because they were looking for carbon. And he says, what? That's ridiculous. You wouldn't smash open a dinosaur skull looking for brains because anything that was carbon would have been fossilized. That's a nonsense answer. But that's the answer he was provided by David McKay, who was one of the lead scientists at NASA.
You have your carbon detector on board, sir? Yes, we do.
So it's very strange. Why would you do that? Why wouldn't you take a series of 300 more photographs from all different angles looking at this and getting the top sea creature experts like Carlton Brett to look at this thing forever is my question. Okay? Now, moving on. What we have next, again, we're going to go back to trace fossils. And
they drilled into it, Brian, looking for carbon. So isn't that confirmation of life before you just close the window on that? I mean, do you see what I'm saying? That they saw the same shit that Carlton Brett here saw?
At the very least, Jason, they thought this was anomalous. And so they wanted to check into it. So fortunately, they took a photo of it before they drilled it down into nothingness. So it's just very suspicious behavior. I don't think that makes me a conspiracy nut. I think that makes me a very inquisitive individual wondering about life on a planet, because that has profound implications for us here on Earth.
Is that the same tool we saw that might have done what in the image that Jen was showing us? That abrasion tool, is that what we see in the photograph from the rover?
I don't know what the rock abrasion tool looks like, but it has the ability to smooth an entire rugged surface.
Okay,
it'll grind it down.
It's grinder, yeah. So getting back to trace fossils for a moment, you guys now have been trained on Mars images, so it might be a little bit more obvious this time. But sea creatures burrow into rocks that are submerged. Marine rocks, marine creatures, they make these holes in rocks. Okay? And they have found rocks on Mars with these holes that are known to have been in an area that was once covered in water. Okay, so I'll just skip to the thing here. We have Mars on the right, Earth on the left. If NASA is saying they're looking for signs of ancient life, isn't this the evidence they are looking for? Is my question. Okay. we have more than just one
They're
example.
looking beyond the answers of what they already know that they don't tell us. They're on their own mission. And it don't match up to what we the people are being told that mission really is. That's half the problem here.
Yeah. I'm gonna
Recover up.
end. Yes. I'm going to end with an example that just came to me in the most recent weeks. And again, most of these came from my friend Barry DiGregorio. Maybe we'll have him on the show, but I'm gonna show a slide of him at the end. Barry, I don't know if you're watching right now. I sent you a link, but hello if you are. Okay. First, there's a process of education though, because nobody knows what the hell a crinoid is. Very few people know what a crinoid is. Very few people know what a trace fossil is. Specifically, marine creatures that burrow into rocks. So forgive me, there's just a little bit of an education here, but we're dealing with perhaps millions of years of animal evolution and things of that nature, and life comes in a variety of different sizes and shapes. The very last thing I have to introduce to you is this concept of, I don't know if I'm saying this word right, paleodictyon. Okay. Now, if you look up paleodictyon online, there is in fact a Wikipedia article. There's probably, better references than that, but this is an accepted by mainstream science. This is an accepted fossil signature, trace fossil signature. And what you see here are these hexagonal formations across the surface of this rock. Okay? We don't know what the animal looked like that produced this, but we do know that an animal did.
A bee.
It looks like an ancient beehive.
Yes.
Okay. But this all
Honeycomb.
happened underwater. This is an underwater creature that makes this hexagonal formation with their activity. That much I know. I don't know too much else. But it is a very strange characteristic, and this is accepted by mainstream science. I'm going to show you two other examples. These are here on Earth. It is this hexagonal, this signature hexagonal thing that when scientists here on Earth look at these things, they know that these are, in fact, the trace fossils of an unknown creature. All right? I'm going to show you one final comparison. We're going to go around the room. Jason, Sarah, Oleg, Megan.
Yeah, but Brian, hold on. Go back to that again. Go back to that. Yeah. Notice one side, like, it would have had to flip on that side. It looks more like an impression more so than the other side, or is it just me?
I see these things as being raised up, the hexagon.
Yeah, but my point is the other side looked different. It looked like if you went like this, that left the imprint.
Exactly.
Sure. This is new to me as of a week ago, so I don't know too much about this. All I can say is that this is established science, and what I'm going to show you is another comparison. Let's go around the room because I don't know if anyone's seen this, but I'm showing you two very close-up images.
Left is Mars.
Yeah.
Left is Mars.
Okay.
I'm just gonna be the other guy, be that guy, and say the right is Mars.
You guys are savvy enough. I can't fool you anymore. Okay.
We've been doing this for months at this point, man.
I know.
Wow.
And
Wow. That is nice.
we see these rocks
What
covered
the
in this
fuck?
stuff.
Yes. It's in those boxed in areas.
This is very obvious here.
Yes.
Very obvious here.
Are you shitting me?
Exactly.
Haven't seen anything like it.
Whoa.
They have
Brian,
confirmed it.
this is in those boxed areas where the rover is right now.
Right.
Yep.
Okay.
Underwater
Thank you.
creature.
Thank you to Barry DiGregorio. This is the gentleman. When I first started publishing videos on YouTube about Mars, I started with Barry. Barry took an interest at a very young age in the 90s of the Viking mission, specifically the biology experiments that we all talked about recently. And he wrote this book called Mars, the Living Planet, which serves as somewhat of a quasi-biography of Dr. Gilbert Levin, who invented that labeled release experiment that we talked about. That was the first biology experiment that was run on Mars that detected positive signs of life. And his co-lead investigator, Dr. Patricia Ann Stratt. This book serves as the more or less retelling of what became the Viking mission, Gil's career and his history. And he actually got Gil Levin and Patricia Ann Stratt to write the last 2 chapters of the book. And this book was published in the 90s. And in my opinion, it actually does read like a movie. Barry is a gifted writer. Gary has even spoken to him on his show quite a bit. Gary's been following this for a while. But, you know, I interviewed Barry about all of the evidence for life on Mars as well as these fossils. He's the one who's actually bringing a lot of these fossil examples to my attention. So if anyone really wants the deep dive into the Viking mission, all the details, man, he's such a gifted writer. It reads like a movie. I was so excited. It was thrilling, literally reading this book. But I just want to
It's
make
definitely
sure.
historical. It's definitely very valuable for a historical record, and it puts forth all the data. What not just Barry's work, but of Dr. Gil's and Patricia Ann Stratt, etc. And look where we're at today. You read that book, if you can trudge through it, believe me, like Brian says, it's cool. You can read it, trust me. Maybe not overnight, but you'll follow it. And then look where we're at today, and then what NASA's not doing. It'll be obvious. Just saying.
So guys, when you hear, and you will hear this a lot, there is no evidence for life on Mars. There is no evidence for fossils on Mars. You guys have seen this stuff. In my opinion, there is evidence. It's just that people haven't seen it. And NASA doesn't want to adopt that interpretation, which then begs the question, are they really trying to pretend like this doesn't exist? Are they really trying to cover things up? I don't know. It just leaves it to us to try to hash this out, and we're just doing the best we can. And in my opinion, I think we've got some pretty solid evidence.
Thanks, Brian. I agree.
I hadn't seen any of that before. Yeah, thanks, Brian, and thanks, chat. It kind of pisses me off a little bit. That's my reaction. The fact that isn't some of that stuff isn't front page news and never has been, and that screams, cover up, in my opinion. And I don't know. Is anybody else having that kind of reaction to that?
I think, Dave, if you look at Brian, you did a great job there, and I like particularly the Bill Clinton photo. Not Bill Clinton himself. I'm not whatever. We'll leave that one alone. But the picture, right, of that was a mainstream accepted, posited, put forth picture of a fossil, right, a proposed fossil. When I compare that picture with any of the number of ones you showed me, it is quite obvious that we're not victims of pareidolia, right? That we are seeing precisely what mainstream at that point put forth as being a fossil, and I think you showed it in number. That's what I have to say about what you showed us, and I thought that was an excellent point to show what mainstream said was a fossil from Mars, and then show us everything else.
Thanks, Jason.
Mars Revealer does have a channel, Renovo. Somebody was just asking. We're going to take a look at some of his stuff here shortly. Oleg, Megan, Sarah, anybody else have a reaction to Brian's presentation?
Yeah, I think these were great comparisons with different kinds of Earth and Mars stuff. I have one thing that maybe wasn't for me that compelling. These that sea creatures drill these holes, and these holes on Mars, also in natural rocks there could be such holes, but the comparison was of course good. There is a possibility that these are creatures made, not natural things with the rocks, but we have to be careful of course with such things. I also was looking heavily in the comments, and a few people were comparing these towers, like these things that went straight in the previous like part of the show, to some natural formation, and I've checked them out and they weren't compelling that these are similar, so that would be for more like artificialness of the Mars ones.
I agree. I looked at those too, Oleg, and yeah, I see what they're saying, but it doesn't good comparison.
Anyone else?
Yeah, I appreciated the new stuff because we just had Brian on our podcast, so some of that we had just seen, but like the new stuff is like, I appreciate it, and I feel like you do about it, Dave, where it just should be mainstream. Like this should be on the front page of the news. So we try to cover it. I guess that falls to us, and all the independent researchers. We try to cover Mars as much as we can because that's how we do this. Is we all keep talking about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, fabulous work, guys. That was all super interesting. I'm always excited for what you're going to show us each week. We're getting deeper and deeper.
Yeah, this is really building. I totally agree. Thanks to these guys' work, Gary, Jean, Brian, and more. So,
Dave, I want to pivot to Gary's stuff. I want Gary to share his images, but if you don't mind, I just want to sort of set it up. Is that cool with you guys?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay. Now we're getting deeper. Each week we get deeper. Okay, I'm really happy Gary joined us today. Gary might be new to some of you here today, but Gary has been working on this stuff for quite a long time, and
Since '98.
yes, Gary has impressed me with his discoveries, and what we're going to show you is the tip of the iceberg of what this guy has found.
Or the tip of the pyramid.
I'm so excited that we've got Jean and Gary online and participating. Not all
as long as you don't show us your 3 breasts, Gary. Okay, just don't.
I'm mad Martian, but I'm all male.
Oh, Sarah, I do declare.
Can you?
I do declare.
There we go.
Outstanding.
I love that accent.
Okay, so
but you have to donate that $1.99 to Universe Unveiled channel.
That was on me, Dave.
If you don't mind here, I'm just going to share my screen again.
Yep.
And set up Gary here, because from what Gary has found, Dave, I have to share it a couple of times if you just bear with me here. I need to again remind people of just how is my share screen coming through, Dave?
I thought,
okay.
Yeah, there
we go. Good. So Gary and Jean will both spend their free time looking at images that look like this and just scouring the surface to see if there's anything that just looks out of place. Now, at first glance, it doesn't look like much. It just looks like a bunch of natural terrain, rocky, mountainous, whatever you want to call it. Okay? But fortunately, NASA has provided high-resolution imagery, so we can actually zoom in very far to see some of these things in great detail. And one of those little bumps that we just saw, I'm just going to share again here, Dave. One of those bumps that we just saw, in my opinion, rivals the Great Pyramid that Jean found. And I think between the 2 pyramids that these gentlemen have found, this to me ends the discussion. Okay, and you're going to see a comparison here pop up on your screen.
I hit it. Just give it a sec.
Yep.
The one on the right is China.
Yes.
Wow.
Out of all that chaos that we just saw on that previous screen, Gary, bless his heart, he spent so much time looking at Google Earth, scouring the surface, Google Mars, and scouring the surface to find something like that. That thing on the left is over 2 miles wide. We see opposing 90-degree angles. We see straight lines. We see clearly defined edges. It's not in pristine condition, but again, remember, we're dealing with the surface of a planet that is at the very least millions of years old. I want to hand it over to Gary because Gary's got some of his processed, like Jean, who kind of upscales things and cleans things up a little bit. Gary does similar work, and he's got some extra analysis here that I want to hand it over to Gary because he's the one who found this and has done a little bit more image processing work on that regard. Gary, do you have something you could share here with us?
Yeah, not a lot. I didn't really know what to put together, and I know there's a bunch of people, so I only put a few images.
Yeah, the few's fine.
That's it from
fine.
each thing. All right.
Yeah.
But of course, you can always go see my videos on Mars Revealer 69 on YouTube, and on X. Brian has links and whatnot. So let me see. Window.
The links are in the description too, and I just flashed them on the screen. I'll do it again.
Let me know if and when you see that. Hopefully, you only see that, not my backgrounds and everything else going on.
We'll find out here in a second. I'm sure it's fine. Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, that's good.
All right, so two-dimensionally, it's important because that's what we got to do. We got to look down, right? We're looking down in 2 dimensions, and it's very easy for people to overlook things because you're looking down 2-dimensionally, and the shifts and things that NASA does, and I'll just say layers or masks to try to soften things up to make it look as natural as possible, not as provocative or eye-catching or too pareidolia. You know, take your Xanax. Can't look at this. No, you don't see that. I don't see a pyramid. Okay, well, they couldn't hide that totally. Now, 2-dimensionally, when Brian did a great representation of the commie Chinese pyramid there next to it, 2-dimensionally, right? You would like, they look like cousins. But even though the one in China is a tiny little baby, still need a birth from the mother, this thing is huge, number one. So, but look at the symmetry 2-dimensionally. Now, an aspect I do bring into this is also to bring it in a 3D point of view. The 3D point of view could be upsetting to some of what some were expecting to see, but in my opinion, no, even to myself, because 2-dimensionally, you know, you build these concepts, even if you have a lot of data, and if you think on your own, taking all the details of what it would look like. Does that make sense?
Yeah, let me just interpret this. Gary, let me just interpret this for everybody. What Gary does is he uses a specialized software to try to render a 3-dimensional perspective on this thing, a 3-dimensional output.
Right.
That is generated by the shadows. So it's a Gary, I'm just boiling this down, distilling this down, you know, don't kill me if it's not technically accurate.
Oh, go for it, man.
It's quite literally a shape from shading. Okay, we're taking the shading of something and trying to render a 3D output for it, okay? It may not be 100% accurate, but hey, you know, it's like we would expect NASA to be doing this, but they're not. So we're doing the best we can. So
It's
Gary's
fairly
got the
accurate,
3-dimensional.
though.
Yeah,
It-
but go
it
ahead,
is
Gary.
fairly accurate.
Show us what you got.
Especially regards to the face of Cydonia, another show, hopefully anyone out there, email me. I got a lot to show. But check this out. So this is a MRO CTX image. I've already, I got even more processed versions where I'm bringing out more of the nook and crannies of the data. But this is good enough at the moment to show you because like those rovers, I'm beyond knowing what I'm looking at. I'm looking to prove other aspects about it, of what I see about this surface. I just don't see an archaeological site. I see something that has been masterfully, let's say, carved. But I'll digress for now. So, but two-dimensionally, it's uncanny. It gives you reason to say, hey, look at that thing. And you could tell by its geometry, right? Give the spiel, Brian, about the geometry in Carl Sagan. What do people look? I know you mentioned it before on other shows.
Carl Sagan, right? He's got this famous quote. Let me get the first one first. Extraordinary claims require extraordinary evidence. If the claim
that one
is,
I piss on.
I know. But if that's the claim, okay, then what does extraordinary evidence look like? And for Carl Sagan, in his Cosmos series, he said that intelligent life on Earth first reveals itself through the geometric regularity of its constructions, roads, city grids, okay, buildings, and yes, in fact, pyramids. Because when you take a look at the pyramids, they have geometric regularity, repeated expressions of 90-degree angles. So when we're looking down at the surface of Mars, we may not see buildings, skyscrapers and cities
as we know them.
As we know them. But again, remember, we're dealing with the surface of a planet that is millions of years old. So what would be left is giant megalithic structures. Just look at our own megalithic structures. We don't really know how old they are. We know that they're very old, and maybe it's 6,000 years old, maybe it's 12,000, maybe it's 38,000 years old. We're still debating that here today, but they last. Megalithic structures last. And what we're seeing on Mars isn't pristine, but again, look at what's right next to this pyramid is a crater. So is it possible that the impact of that meteorite sort of damaged that corner? It might be. But even if you look at eroded pyramids on the Giza Plateau in Egypt, some of them are hardly recognizable because they've been eroded down just over thousands of years. They don't look like pyramids. They just look like rubble. So that it's not pristine, I'm not bothered by. But we do have straight lines at 90-degree angles here, which catches my eye.
And if that is a pyramid, then I also see several other structures around that pyramid that might be small.
Can you see my mouse? Can you see my hand moving around?
Next to it. Yeah, it's
There we go. Yeah.
All right. Notice this terrace. This is terrace. This
It
is
looks like an Assyrian sculpture.
Well, that's one way of looking at it. But don't forget, this one might have been. I did bring more details on this on other images I have done that I haven't presented. I'm going to save that for a book I'm doing called The Pyramids of Mars, Oasis of the Damned. So, but look, like he mentions this crater, but here's the problem. This thing still has its structure line. You're following my mouse?
Yeah.
Look carefully, and in my better processing, you can see it more clearly. You can see where it matches up. Everything's been carved. So this thing did not or blow it away per se. Or if it did, someone came back along and made sure they carved it to match the impact, because we have too much art, and the art is geometric itself. But two-dimensionally, yeah, you look down, I said, I see a pyramid, I laugh, and, that's what it is. And like Brian noted, it's huge, so.
Cue up the 3D, Gary.
All right, we're ready, huh? Now, again, it may upset some people, but not really. Let's look at the details. All right. You got to study the details well, because when I do these renderings, believe me, I'm doing like 10 or 12 of them at times before I put anything forth to get the best rendition I can and most accurate, and also for what I believe I'm seeing in the various data. That's why having more than one source of images of a feature to study its features, again, the relief is the most important, because that's where you'll see not only the signature of intelligence, but the signature of the handiwork of those who made this. And it's not just erosion, it's art carved. But put that in the back of your brains. You might need to smoke one with me at some point. Let's do a show. But the thing is, you look at the feature. So when you see three-dimensionally, it brings you more like down, not to Earth, but to Mars, pun intended, from that type of view. And it's, even though if you weren't expecting to see some, it is still just as eerie, if not more so, because of the ground level. It's like it puts you into the scene. So, Brian, thank you for explaining all that, prepping people for all that. Boom. Well, I hope boom. All right, there's another view of it. Okay. Again, once you follow and see all the relief, you will see that it doesn't look like natural erosion. It looks like artistically carved on a massive scale, because you could follow lines. If this was all destroyed from the impact of this crater, we would not have no artistic lines or features. Believe me, you would have to literally trace them all out. Then you're like, there's too much going. It's like a tattooist on acid gone mad, a real expert. And when you see that, it goes against the laws of erosion, because look what we're dealing with to begin with. A geometric structure where there shouldn't be no art or relief, let alone the structure. But I'm crazy, right? We'll see in time. But I just wanted to make that note. Now I'll stop. Oh, over here's a pyramid. Oh, crap. Right here's a pyramid, too. And this is a littler one.
All right. Gary,
now,
show
let
us
me
the
go to the
3D.
next one. Yes. Okay, boom. That's one view. Look at that. You can see the pyramid cool over here, huh? Little mount, smaller, obviously, there. Look at the strong edges. Looking on the relief here. Look, you can see the terraces. You can see where there's...
Yeah, click around. Let's see it. Let's rotate it around.
Well, I don't have the video with me. I got a few images to show.
Yeah. Just go ahead. Cycle through.
Right. Pyramid back here. If you've seen that or not. Look, that looks so eerie. Look, pyramid right here.
I'm seeing sides and I'm seeing edges leading
Geometries.
up to,
You're seeing geometries.
leading up
that's
to
the
an
thing.
apex.
Right. That's too. It's eerie. It's like, whoa.
I think it's really cool that you can do this and give us a better
perspective. It brings it to life. It like brings it to life, right? And NASA's doing it. NASA has it, but they don't give us it. They give us this mola crapola bullshit, and it's not even accurate. Let alone, they want to push it off to us as being accurate. I won't get into that now. But I mean, this thing is huge.
Keep in mind, this isn't just a hill outside. Each side is over 2 miles long, and looking from top down, we're seeing some straight
the geometry. You see,
we're seeing
the
straight
footprint of
edges for
intelligence.
over 2 miles with a 90-degree turn here, a 90-degree turn here. I'm okay that it's not in pristine condition.
It's strange too how it's so large, and it's so, thanks for this 3D, because it sort of shows how it's by itself. At least, the other things around it certainly don't look like it. They're rounded and small, and it just sort of, mountains are in chain, right? I mean, things don't just rise up unless, here and there on occasion. So I like to see that in this 3D. That's pretty cool, man.
In the interest of time.
Well, it's got other things around it. Little pyramidal mounds. It's not just alone. This big feature is not just alone. Even this here. Let me zoom into this, because I never focus on this on the video. I will in the book. Do you see this here where I zoomed into?
Yep.
Notice, again, follow the details. I did bring it out better. That's going to be for other things. But notice you can still see it here. You can still see the work of the art, the work of the ridges. You could follow it and you could trace it out. An artist or tattooist would concur if they did the same thing without using a bias that it's on Mars and it can't be. But look, this looks structural. You can see sides to it and continuation of relief that if it was not natural, everything would just be chaotic and nothing to continue on with lines or anything. You know, this looks all purposed, you know,
All right.
especially this thing.
Gary, I want to get to the other example. In the interest of time, I want to get to the other example, and then we're going to move on to one
There
last
you go from a
artifact here.
front view.
Thank you. Gary, if you don't mind, please unshare so I can just share a couple images to set up the next one of your discoveries.
No problem.
Okay.
But look at that. And no, that's not a volcano. You look down at it two-dimensionally, what it look like. Brian hit the nail on the head. All right, let me stop sharing.
All right.
Did it stop sharing?
Yes, thank you. Okay. I'm gonna show one more discovery made by Gary, and I'm going to be publishing. Gary published on this a while back, but I'm going to be publishing another video on this this upcoming week.
What find is that? I thought we were going to show the pyramid that you alerted me to the other day.
No, not that one. Not that one.
Oh, crap.
Don't worry. You got time now to get it. Just
what is it?
I don't want to spoil it just yet. Hang on a second.
Oh.
Give me a minute, Gary. But this one, guys, Jesus, Gary's finding some.
I do want to show that one from the other day, though, before I go.
We've got other live streams, and keep in mind, John and Oleg are on different time zones. We don't want to go too late in the night. We got a few more things to show.
But it's so compelling.
I know,
So
Gary. We'll get to it. Trust me. Patience, brother. Okay. Again, I want to highlight how discerning of an eye these guys have. We're going to be taking a quick look here at this is what a typical high-resolution image looks like when captured by the HiRISE camera, which is aboard, I think, the Mars Reconnaissance Orbiter. Is that correct, Gary and John?
Yeah.
Right?
Correct.
They come out with these images. Something like this might be, what, 15 miles long?
Depends.
Okay.
It's
Anyway.
15 to 19.
Roughly something like that. And at first glance, it doesn't look like there's much here. All right. But fortunately, these things take such high resolution imagery that we can actually zoom in on something like this. But you gotta have that discerning eye, because
Zoom in on it.
I will. To spend time looking at something, just this image in full detail at 1-to-1 ratio could take you 4 hours. Okay. Sometimes it doesn't provide anything fruitful, but other times, you know, this one little insignificant dot down here might show you something really interesting. Okay.
I think I remember.
All right. So if we just zoom in a little bit more, okay, what do you guys see? I got to tease this out a little bit.
No problem.
Well, one of the mounds looks like, I don't know, it's octagonal or something, the one off by itself. And then I see sort of like 3 things over to the left that look like they could all hold some sort of square shape initially, possibly.
You see, okay.
That weird crater at the top left is weird. It's sticking out to me for some reason. But
oh yeah,
and the one in the middle looks like some of the pyramids we've been looking at.
So what we're going to be taking a look at here is this thing right here. Jason, I think you spotted this a second ago.
Yeah, that's what I meant by multi-sided.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay, let's
correct.
Take a,
The
let's
octagonal.
Take a closer look at this one. Now, what do you see?
Oh, look, and it's got like the shape of a Merkaba. That's strange. And then it's got like gates on one side, or like little little tiny pyramids or porticos off to that north west side, the 11 o'clock.
Hexagonal pyramid.
It's hexagonal with like some little porticos off to the top left. Yeah.
Yeah.
At what this looks like to me, Gary's got some higher quality images here he'll bring up here in a second, but from top to bottom, this thing is 1 mile long, I did the measurements on Google Earth, and from corner to opposing corner, each one, a corner to opposing corner, each one is exactly 0.85 miles. So again, remember that geometric regularity we're talking about.
Weird.
Okay, we have straight edges. We obviously see a symmetrical hexagonal shape. And the cherry on top is that it is covering half of a crater.
Or a gate, like Jason said.
I'm going to unshare my screen and let Gary. Gary, you got better images queued up for us to look at?
It's covering a crater. That's weird.
I'll let Gary take over once he's ready. But this
I can also show. I've mentioned that it looked like an Assyrian sculpture, and I just have a comparison. I can share a screen too to show you.
Sure, go ahead.
Because it's like an epic pareidolia. Then wait, I will hold entire screen. This one sharing.
Did I just hear him call this thing pareidolia?
Yeah, you're
full of shit. You're full of shit. That's all I'll say. Respectfully speaking.
No, Gary, just watch.
Look at this. Look at this.
I'm just saying, respectfully.
Isn't it looking? I mean, this guy without this like wings or something. You see, but here he has like his hand up, but this one has even straight up. I think it looks like a human figure. You see the same like skirt thing with this different kinds of.
Oh, that's to the last picture we looked at.
Yeah, it was close to the pyramid, and you see he has his second hand holding something in. I think.
Yeah, Gary. He's saying that this might be pareidolia, but we're just
something more. If he never seen the Babylonian,
it sure looks like it. I mean,
thing there, he wouldn't have been able to determine that. If he never seen that emblem before, he would not have been able to determine.
I think it looks like some kind of humanoid figure. Yeah, I think this looks like a head to me, like maybe more feminine than on the.
I'll agree with one thing. We need more data on that thing. I already put in several requests for the high rise to be taken of it, but of course, you know what they must be telling me.
Yeah, but I think it looks very close.
That's a good comparison. Oleg, Gary, do you have your share? Gary,
my bad there, Oleg. My bad there, Oleg. Peace. I passed you, but
what I just showed you was the raw imagery from NASA, unprocessed. I didn't do anything to it. What Gary has the ability to do is to draw out more detail by I don't know exactly his process, but more or less it involves adjusting the brightness and contrast to see some of the detail in the more
as one tiny part of what I do.
Okay.
You see, remember what I said earlier about NASA puts these out as soft and everything. They mask shit, so you don't see the relief, so you don't get a good. So you'll just pass right over it, like you said. There's nothing to see here. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah. So share your image, Gary. Gary can pull out more detail from these overexposed areas, which just looks washed out, but we can actually get more detail from it if you just spend the time to do so, and if you have the expertise to know how to do it. You got it up there, Gary? There we go.
So, again, Brian loves to call that a crater. I don't believe it's a crater from a distance, and without all the details, I would certainly concur. But I see something different because I'm crazy. Now, you'll all come to learn that, but we'll see how much so in time as the Martian revelation approaches. So, what we're looking at here is pretty interesting, and you were close. I think it's Jay that said it's hexagon.
Right.
It's six-sided. Now, check this out. All right, that's another process view I did that I'm working on. Okay, but I put that out. It still looks better than what NASA presents. Boom.
Yeah.
I mean, so right away, I wanted to get the geometry issue out of the way. There you go. It definitely has an fingerprint of intelligence of geometry. And again, like Brian noted, this thing is huge. Okay.
It's hard to know
And
if
look,
this is.
also, I could swear I see a secondary.
Gary, just show take the lines off for a minute. Let's just take a look at it. Okay, it's hard to interpret this. Okay, I don't know if this is supposed to be quote unquote a pyramid. I am more fascinated by the fact that it has 6 straight sides
That
and we're
come to a
talking-
central point. That's a pyramid.
Okay, fine. It's a hexagon at the very least, one that is 1 mile large. And to those people who might say, well, that can't possibly be a pyramid because pyramids have 4 sides, I would argue,
Could have any geometric
what
shape.
the hell do you know? Is there some guidebook that tells us what pyramids on Mars are supposed to have? I may not lean into the pyramid aspect of this, but it sure as hell looks like a 6-sided symmetrical hexagon. Yes, I interpret that as an impact crater. Feel free to disagree with me, but the surrounding landscape is peppered with arguably what looks like impact craters, and this thing is covering half of it.
If it was an impact crater, it was utilized. Lotus, if you see my hand here, you could even see the trace line still of it. If it was an impact crater, it was utilized, and Brian would not be wrong or for even stating such a thing, because in future shows and presentations are going to show there are in fact pyramid craters, pyramids that are built into the rim of the crater itself, which would make you really wonder one couldn't have made the other. It was both intelligently created.
Well, that's right. We have other examples of these structures, pyramids, being directly adjacent to craters. And if we are, I really like what Jeffrey Drumland of Chem, his interpretation of the pyramids needing to utilize a water source to pump the chemicals through the thing, because that's how they generated whatever they were doing. So being the proximity to a water source makes sense. And if these craters, this reservoir was filled with water, it's we don't have a lot of data on it, but I'm open to that interpretation of it. And I just find this I'm leaning into what Carl Sagan talks about, geometric regularity. That's what this thing exhibits. And there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Look at it.
Yeah, the 0.85 thing got me. 0.85 miles, is that what you said?
0.85 from go back to it, Gary. Yeah, 0.85 from opposing corner in the middle section there. Okay, tip to tip, 1 mile. 0.85 on the midsection midpoints there.
Oh, gotcha.
From one side corner to another. Anyway, you got a 3D render for us, Gary?
Yeah.
Yeah, just cycle through these images here, Gary.
I want to point something out.
Brian, does that give us any kind of pi or phi between the relationship between one side or the other?
I don't know, man. That's outside of my wheelhouse.
It's 1.367942 kilometers. Just throwing that out there.
So you see that? People would call that a crater. I just want to point that out as we study this thing, right? But keep in mind this interesting feature here. All right. Okay.
Gary, what are we looking at here?
This is that supposed crater.
Oh, on the right?
Notice this terrace. It's also risen, and it's got geometry to it too, tetrahedral-ish geometry about it. But anyway, this is
cycle through. Let's see the different sides.
Here's the so-called partial crater right here.
I know, Gary. We got to get to the next thing, so just cycle through here, just real quick.
Yeah, look at that. Looks pyramidal from the side, that crater.
Yes.
Now look at this. Follow this line. It's terraced also. This is the edge of that so-called crater. If we're looking at it this side, it looks like a square or a rectangle. And notice it comes down like with an X. That's interesting. I just thought I'd point that out.
Yeah, just do a spin around. There you go. Keep going. So, for what it's worth, we have some 3D renderings here. When looking at it from just the 2D perspective,
And now a 3D. Interesting.
we've got geometric regularity to it. That's a good one right there. Go back, Gary. It might be.
See the pyramidish, the tetrahedral geometry in these the so-called crater that rises up like geometry as pyramidal geometry, even going inside the flute of this so-called rim of the crater. This is interesting, very interesting.
I think the software maybe exaggerates just a little bit here and there, but maybe.
Dude, I've done so many tests, but yeah, I know what I'm doing, dude.
I know. We got to talk. We can talk about it later. Anyway, thank you, Gary. I think these are great finds. And just to wrap things up, we've got one artifact that John's got queued up here. Gary, if you don't mind ending the share screen, so Jean can just bring up one last thing here before we go.
Right, let's just get that lined up.
Got it.
Okay, can you see my screen?
It's coming.
Not yet.
Let's give it
Cool.
a sec. Let's give it a sec.
Okay, this was found by, was this Martine Graney, Jean?
Yes.
Oh, I haven't met, I don't know, sorry, I don't know who Martine Graney is, but just give her a shout out.
She doesn't really want to come out and talk.
Okay, you guys, okay.
She posts on Facebook mostly.
All right, well, this was found by her, and I included this in the film, but I hadn't yet met John, so I'm like, John, do an upscale of this one here. So just a comparison, we can see that the upscale, I don't know about you, but I just don't think it really mischaracterizes what we're looking at. It's just providing a little extra clarity. And it just looks like such an anomaly in a sea of what is arguably just rocks, okay? There's something that just stands out here. And John, if you don't mind just zooming into it a little bit.
What's today's date?
Can you guys see that?
Yes.
Today is the 3rd.
Sunday, May 3rd. What do you guys make of this?
It looks like the chess piece that's a little castle.
Yep,
Yeah.
that's exactly what I thought.
Yeah.
Sarah, Oleg, Ricardo, Jason, what does this look like to you guys?
A piece of gymnastic equipment. The handlebar on top. It looks like a pommel horse, but with. Either way, it certainly
Like
does
a
not
bottle
look
with
like
handle.
Is
Looks
this
like
like a handle. Yeah.
a tree trunk. No, but it looks like it has an opening at the bottom if you're talking about the central figure.
How
It's a
big is that?
shrine off Zelda.
You know what, Brian? Sorry to interrupt, but I just clicked on High Picture of the Day. They gave out a picture in Elysium. I can swear it's a little pyramidal feature.
I'll send it
We're
to
able
me.
to show it if we're able to. Why
Yeah,
shouldn't we just
let's-
show it before we close?
Let's just save it, Gary, because it's getting late.
All right, everyone out there, Brian didn't want you to see it.
Gary, we'll talk about it later. We got to prepare things ahead of time. Sorry. Okay, so
How big
guys,
is it?
Jean, is it possible to zoom in any further on this, or is that just what you got?
And
prepared?
yeah, it really breaks up quite badly if I zoom in any closer. Yeah.
Does it not look like this thing has a handle on top?
Martian fire hydrant. Yeah, it looks like a fire hydrant a little bit.
I mean, it looks like it's got one of these, just like on top, doesn't it? Is that what everybody else?
Yeah,
is
like
seeing?
an altar top or something. Like the
I'm
priest
going
corner.
I'm going to temple from Zelda, like Sarah said.
Word.
God.
Okay, regarding the size, I'd say it's about 1.5 feet tall.
Go back to the original image, Jean. This is obviously something that is in the distance.
90 centimeters.
Yeah, it's about a half a meter or so tall.
Oh, you can't use PowerPoint. Fuck.
Yeah, I can't. Sorry, man.
That's cool, man. So, just another anomaly. Not sure what to make of it, but it does look very strange. It's not characteristic of the surrounding landscape. It looks like it
Stands
has
out
this,
literally.
it's standing up. It looks like a Martian fire hydrant with a handle on top. Like, what am I supposed to make of this? I don't know. So we bring it to the attention of the public to help try to just
It
say,
looks
hey,
like
look,
an ancient furnace if I'm trying to identify it as something ancient. And on Earth, it looks like an ancient small furnace.
yeah, right, because it's got that opening at the bottom, right?
Yeah.
Like, what the heck is it?
It's weird.
Well, the rover is right there on the left top corner, so why don't he go
Why
down?
don't they go closer and take a photo of it? Wouldn't anybody just naturally be curious to do that?
Or they could easily zoom in on it, but they're not giving us those files.
But the thing is, Brian, okay, there is a team driving the rover, correct?
Right, they have to program it where to go, right?
So, right. So their
team of
guidelines is
weasels.
to research for interesting features, take images, right? So when they see something like that, what kind of human doesn't have the curiosity, that is actually the name of one of those rovers, to go and look at what it is? I think they do. I find very hard to believe that they are there and they don't go closer and see it for what it is, right? We just don't see that footage. We just don't see those images, because I find very hard to believe that a team of humans that are genuinely interested in this and not in the censorship, because that's above them, right, are not like kids on a new playground. Oh, look at that, and look at that, and look at that. Okay.
In essence, you're trying to say they're not stupid. That means they're zooming in on it. They have the capability. They're not giving us those files.
Of course, that's what I think it's going to.
That's
at least
definitely
for
what it
most
is.
of it. At least for most of it, those obvious things like this standing out, even if it is a rock, is an interesting rock that could be featured by NASA, saying, "Look at what we found." The same way they said, "Oh, look at that face. It's just a trick, light and shadow." The same thing, but at least they would go there and look at it, right? So I find very hard to believe that this is as close as they get, or as sharp as they get an image of that, whatever that is.
Guys, yeah. So again, we just bring the stuff to you, and we're just trying to figure it out. We don't know for certain, but it just looks strange. So, thanks again for taking
use
the time to
your
look at this
influence,
stuff.
Brian,
Yeah,
and
it's
get
fine.
us one of those people on that team, or a previous guy from Team of Curiosity, or the other rover.
Mm-hmm.
There must be someone that we can talk to.
Can I ask a stupid question? Is somebody like driving that thing like live and like taking pictures, or is it just doing a sweep and taking pictures like through a program? Do you know what I'm saying?
I think
They're driving it live for specific targets, and or they can automate.
Yes.
So, but someone's watching the monitor, and I don't think he's eating Twinkies and shit like that, not watching the screen.
No, look, the way it is, Dave, is that
He could still be eating Twinkies.
if they have a target that is like a kilometer away and they are going in a straight line, they draw the path and the rover goes while they are watching the footage, so they don't have to be on the manche pushing it forward, right? But when they stop at the area that they are looking for, they take control of the rover and they can go anywhere until they decide to go to another place, and they put it in automatic and keep looking.
That's why it would be. That's why it's so slow, because there is a time set between the commands.
Exactly.
So, they would have to, okay, let's move this, we'll plan this, we're going to move here, we're going to there. Oh, look at this cool shit. Put that in the way of the, X-Files for us. Never mind the people out there that pay for this shit. But, all right, now we're going to plan, we're going to move over there, put that command. That's as live as it gets. Because if it automates on its own, it has no AI, it may roll itself off a cliff.
Sure. And keep in mind that it doesn't matter that it takes time for the footage to get here and the commands to get there, because once the first wait is done, then it's in real time all the time. It's not in real time to Mars, but it's a continuous
But then
action
again,
on Earth.
then again, that's what we're being told. Their communication systems, I'm sure, are far more superior than must be by now, since the late 80s, 90s, early 2000s to now. But they have enough satellites, line of sight communications, all that shit. Like when the craft went behind the moon, oh, we're going to lose radio signal. Not by our secret fucking probes out there keeping constant communication and light speed. And you know what I'm saying? Or who knows? There may be an automation protocol. We just don't know based on the science they're telling us that's being used. Does that make sense?
If they created an AI protocol to drive the rovers, they would be proud enough to tell us, look, we have this new AI program
They
that
plan on
identifies
doing
funny
that.
things.
Right.
They plan on doing that with the next rover.
The Curiosity rover was landed in 10 years ago. They didn't have AI then. So someone's driving this thing.
They do plan on using it in one of the next rovers coming up.
Sure,
So,
but
to some
there's a
degree.
human being saying, go to this coordinate, go to that
Right.
coordinate. They scan the landscape, see where it's not going to get stuck.
But they could zoom in on everything as they do. That's why they don't care about us. They're not giving us the X-Files.
Can they
because they're not
zoom
allowed.
in? Do these cameras zoom in?
Yeah. They got zoom capabilities. Are you kidding me? They're not even giving us the highest resolution shit that they did. John, remember years ago? The pictures were better, crisper. They were full resolution. And then what happened? What happened? Oh, well, we lessened in degrees with pyramidized tips and shit like this. Either way, it's called diminishing. But whatever. We remember, right, John?
Yep. The Mars Global Surveyor photographs are better than the high-rise in some
Every
circumstances.
single one, and
Wow.
especially the landings. Curiosity, Spirit, same crap. We had
Yeah.
good ones, but then they would always make them less of them, and you see a bunch of JPEG art. It was disgusting, man. It was disgusting.
All right,
But that's
guys.
the politics.
We're at 3 hours here, so we got to wrap it up. But I want to thank everyone for joining in and take a look at this stuff. Gary, thanks for joining us today and giving us a chance to talk about your discoveries. It's amazing stuff, and like I said, there's a lot more
On
from
us
Gary
all
we'll get into
now.
later.
Yep.
So, anyway, thank you guys.
All right.
I want to give everybody an opportunity to say good night, and I'll let you go first because it's late, super late there in Poland.
Yes,
but
it's
thanks for
actually the
joining
next
show.
day already. So thank you guys. Really enjoyed today. So many new angles to all of these new discoveries. Can't wait for more. And I even feel inspired to research more all of these different kinds because you need so many areas of knowledge, science, technology to comprehend all of that. So it was really cool. Thank you everyone, and thanks for having me on. If anyone wants to find my stuff, my channel, my book, just copy and paste my name and surname, Aleksander Czeszkiewicz, and you will find me on YouTube and other platforms, and of course my book on Amazon. Thank you.
You're welcome, sir, and thank you for joining.
Thank you.
Jason.
Jason Huffman on Facebook, Shaman711_ on X and YouTube. As always, gentlemen, guys, my work, and if you're interested, you can find it on YouTube, has shown me many things like what you show me on Mars here on Earth. And as always, I have a great time sitting here with you all, considering what that could possibly mean about Mars and what it could possibly mean about the human story. Because most of all, what we're really trying to do, audience, is scratch our and your curiosity about the truth of our past. And thank you, gentlemen, for doing that so well with your time and effort.
Thank you, Jason. Ricardo.
Thanks, Jason.
Well, aside from what Jason said, just Sarah apparently is not with us, so
Yeah, she had to go.
So Universe Unveiled, they just released their news today. We'll do a Shaman and a Philosopher, probably not today, but tomorrow around 7-8. And well, why not check up my books, which since I never talked about them, check out my books, The Resonant Earth or Stardust. They're both on Amazon. And you can find me on X on Ricardo Calvario 1. So, and thank you very much for having us and for having me, and thank you for all your research.
Outstanding. Jean?
Thanks, everybody. You can find me. I've got a website, megalithic.mars.com, Jean Ward on YouTube, and Jean Ward Mars on X. Thanks, everybody.
Brian.
Yeah, if Mars, like I say, if Mars disclosure is new to you, for those people who haven't heard any of this stuff, I encourage you to watch my documentary, Blue Planet Red, and I've got a continuing series on YouTube titled the same thing, Blue Planet Red, where I highlight the great work of people like John Ward, Gary Leggiere, and dozens of many other people that you probably never heard of, but their work needs attention.
Thanks, Brian.
Fantastic. Yeah, my big takeaway from today was those fossils that look like marine life. That just pisses me off that I didn't know about that. And it just goes to show you that, like Ricardo was saying, they are taking pictures of this stuff. They're just not showing it to us, because you would, if you saw it, like you saw something cool on Earth, you'd take a picture of it, right? I mean, it's just human curiosity. Megan and I drop weekly shows on Fridays, outstanding interviews with all kinds of interesting people. Aleksander Czeszkiewicz there does the editing for us. We're really proud of our show, and we really appreciate anyone who's already subscribed. But if you haven't subscribed yet, we'd love that. Megan, any final words?
Just many thanks for all the deeper layers we're diving into. You guys bring something new and exciting every week. Always a special shout out to the chat. You guys are on fire. And an extra special thank to Dave this week because we had some login issues. So he was manning the post and doing my job while I just got to sit back and enjoy. So thanks for that, Dave.
It happens. And yeah, chat, thank you so much. Couple of super chats in there, probably for Jean. He deserves it. Look, light, love, truth. Have a great, wonderful evening and rest of your week. Good night, everyone.
Thanks for hosting the show, Dave. Cheers, everyone.
You're welcome.